Someone's taken some steps to juice up their batteries. And today's Duracell batteries can even outlast the ones we made just a few years back. You can't touch the copper tongue.
Video Factory presents Matt Redlock.
What you got, man? I picked up some movies from Video Factory. Oh, Video Factory. Hey, I saw this one. The guy's barber turns out to be the murderer. Don't tell me the ending. Now you ruined the whole movie for me. I never saw this one. That's right. Video Factory gets in so many new movies every week that even a Weisenheimer like you can't see them all. Video Factory's got more movies than anybody. Oh, Citizen Kane. Hey, did you know that Rosebud is the name of... Don't even think of saying it.
There's a Video Factory near you.
He protects all living things in the forest, but he can't do it alone. Please don't play with matches. And never, ever forget the words of Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Now that's enough Pepsi for any party.
Hey, Curly, Curly.
What a pigsty.
Thanks.
Well, we survived the holidays.
Gosh, they're such mugs.
No playoff party would be complete without plenty of Pepsi. And right now's the time to stock up at your favorite store.
Hey, Curly's out of Pepsi.
Stock up on Pepsi, or you could find yourself the halftime entertainment.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, we've seen it.
Have you tried extra classic bubblegum?
We've tried it.
And do you love it? We love that great classic bubblegum flavor. Everyone's trying extra classic bubblegum with NutraSweet. Classic bubblegum flavor that lasts an extra long time. So if you still haven't tried it, you're missing a tremendous breakthrough. Get classic bubblegum flavor that lasts an extra long time.
Some of this week's contestants may receive all new editions of Wheel of Fortune featuring Vanna White, plus Jeopardy featuring Alex Trebek for the 16-bit Super Nintendo Entertainment System and the Sega Genesis System.
Jeopardy will not be seen tonight, but will return Monday night at its regular time. Stay tuned now for a playoff edition of Bill's Scoreboard with Steve Tasker.
I'll have an Egg McMuffin.
Make that 2. Big Mac. 2 times.
It's 2 for 2 time at McDonald's. Now you can have 2 of your 2 favorite sandwiches for only $2. Great tasting Egg McMuffin for breakfast, 2 for $2. Or delicious Big Mac for lunch or dinner, 2 for $2.
Jocelyn?
Juliet? You know each other?
2-timer. What you want is what you get.
You better get that to go.
At McDonald's today.
Next Friday at 9, 8 Central on an all-new episode. Fire is his weapon, but don't try to stop him.
Time to call 911.
Unless you want to get burned. The X-Files, Tuesday and next Friday on Fox.
You're unbelievable.
And the Bills were unbelievable against Houston. Now, the game is yours to see exclusively on WKBW-TV News Channel 7. Watch The Miracle at Rich tonight at 8, only on News Channel 7, your hometown team.
You're unbelievable.
What's so great about the Ocean Spray Cranberry? Perhaps we could put it this way.
Bow, bow, bow. Think about, think about, think about.
Sweet heart. Ocean Spray Cran drinks. It's amazing what a little cran can do.
Bow, bow, bow. Think about,
And now a little cran can save you a lot of money when you refill with Ocean Spray liquid concentrate.
Live with Regis and Kathy Lee.
Anybody know what we're doing here?
We're stinging and swinging and swaying in the breeze.
We drank to your house.
We're just full of surprises, so stick around. And on the next Live with Regis and Kathy Lee, it's the Coupon Queen. She may be little, but she's filled with big ideas for saving money. And from Brooklyn to beaches to Broadway, the always entertaining Lainey Kazan. Watch Regis and Kathy Lee Monday morning at 9 on Channel 7.
You're unbelievable.
Video Factory Dodge. So at your... Call waiting from New York Telephone lets you reach home when you have to, even when someone's already on the phone. A gentle tone signals your call is trying to get through.
Hold on, Doris. I get another call.
Just press the receiver to put the first call on hold and answer the second.
Hi, honey. I'm stuck late at the office. Better start dinner. Don't worry,
With call waiting, important calls can get through. To return to the first call, just press again.
It was Mom. I'm cooking dinner. Yeah, I'm going to have so much fun, but what should I have?
To get call waiting, call 1-800-THE-TONE. Order now, and the connection is free.
Chicken surprise.
Call waiting makes life easier in so many ways. Call 1-800-THE-TONE now to get the connection free. Call waiting puts an end to annoying busy signals and lets those important calls get through.
Hello? Dad, Mom's going to be late, so I'm cooking chicken surprise. Oh, but one thing. Could you bring home the chicken?
We're all connected. New York telephone.
Good evening. I'm Keith Radford.
And I'm Kathleen Layton. Coming up tonight on Eyewitness News at 11, the latest from Pittsburgh as both the Bills and their fans head to the Steel City for tomorrow's game with the Steelers.
Also, we'll have the latest on the Allied deadline for Iraq to remove its surface-to-air missiles out of the no-fly zone in southern Iraq. All these stories and our AccuWeather forecast coming up on Eyewitness News at 11.
Stay tuned next for Bill's Scoreboard with Steve Tasker and Miracle at Rich right here on News Channel 7.
Get ready to stomp the Steelers with Don Beebe and meet Pittsburgh's Buffalo connection Justin Strelzik on a playoff edition of Bill's Scoreboard tonight at 7:30.
Suppose you wanted to make a chair as stable as can be. Where would you put the legs? Right at the corners, right? Now, suppose you wanted to make a car as stable as can be. Where would you put the wheels? Right. That's why the new Intrepid is so remarkably stable. The wheels are pushed out toward the corners. The further we pushed, the more stable and sure-footed it became. Intrepid. This changes everything.
Video Factory presents Matt Redlock.
Okay, ma'am, here they are. We just need you to identify the Video Factory employee.
All right.
Now, you guys just say something you'd say to a customer at your video store.
This isn't my register.
What do you want?
I'm on break.
Hi, welcome to Video Factory. May I help you?
That's the one. He helped me find the movie I wanted and recommended others I loved.
With fast, friendly service like that, only a glutton for punishment would rent anywhere else.
Can we go now?
There's a Video Factory near you.
All right. Move over, you big ox.
No playoff party would be complete without plenty of Pepsi, and right now is the time to stock up at your favorite store so you can party till the people come home.
WBEN's weather fact says heavy snow this morning.
I gotta get to the station.
Plus,
Morning Man Bill Lacey is learning firsthand about weather facts from 9:30 WBEN.
I don't believe this.
With the latest traffic
the
conditions,
Skyway is closed in both directions.
official school and business closings,
Rescue dog closed for business today.
You too? I don't believe this.
and Buffalo's exclusive weather facts forecast.
Even a chance of lightning, believe it or not.
No. Yes.
News 9:30 WBEN.
Next, Bill Lacey on the Good Morning Show.
Believe it.
For thousands of years, one drink has been helping build up people while tearing down thirst. One drink, delicious, fresh as snow, satisfying, and absolutely irreplaceable. Milk, energy with 15 essential nutrients.
Swimming pools. Gary's got it.
Celebrate the new year right and hurry into any of Gary's 3 locations for our pre-season pool sale. All new 93s at special low introductory prices as well as 92 closeouts. Get a 24-foot pool complete with liner, filter, skimmer, ladder, vacuum, and test kit, all for only $7.99. Hurry in, supplies are limited. Bring the fun home with Gary's, where you'll find the lowest prices in town, guaranteed.
Gary's got it.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I hope everybody is doing okay. Sorry, I gotta check on a little something here real quick. Oh gosh. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second here. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. It's really good to see everyone. I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope everybody's having a great start to their week so far. And I didn't really plan on going live tonight. And earlier I was in someone's chat. And I don't even remember if somebody sent me the link or if I just stumbled onto it. But it was kind of gross. Oh no, yeah, what happened was one of the clip channels shared the link in community and it came up on my feed. And so I drop in out of curiosity and I'm like, am I hearing this correctly? And basically what took place was so Damaged Goods with No Regrets. Okay, there's this channel, Damaged Goods with No Regrets. You'll know her as White Boy Radio Lockdown Radio. I just always known him as White Boy. I never actually really thought about his entire name of his channel. But you'll remember her as his wife. Now, I've had my riffs with these people in the past. That's not what this is about. I'm not here to talk about them. As a matter of fact, the only thing that I'm going to say about them tonight, because it's irrelevant, the only thing that is relevant that I'm going to say and that I'm going to say tonight is that Damaged Goods with No Regrets, she did what I thought to be a very respectful and actually very informative interview with one of Don Wells's daughters from a previous relationship. Excuse me. Now, regardless of what you think of the channels, whatnot, there's a lot of talk out there about Don Wells. A lot of talk about him being a predator. And there's really no actual evidence to indicate this at all. Now, I don't know exactly. I don't know the quote, but I know that at some point, Don Wells had admitted to, or at least allegedly admitted to, doing something inappropriate with his younger sister when he was very young. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know, but this is not something that I approve of. But at the same time, the issue here is Summer Wells and where she is. And I don't know. I ever since this thing with his sister came out, and I don't even know if it's true or not. I don't even know how reliable the information is. But it's irrelevant to the Summer Wells case, because this created a perpetuance of another rumor that he did something to his daughters prior to his relationship with Candace. Okay, stepsister, I don't know. And prior to his relationship with Candace, and his having the children that he has with the 2 boys, or 3 boys, and Summer Wells, and Summer being the youngest, as far as I believe so. It's been a long time since I talked about this case, and there's like I said, there was a lot of talk in regards to these children. One of them spoke up with damaged goods with no regrets. And I'm going to go ahead and play that interview just so you guys have the same context, because I'm going to play something else after the fact. But I'm going to play this, or at least most of it. I'm not going to, I probably won't play the whole thing, but at least enough for you guys to understand the evidence. Okay. Sorry, 1 second.
But it's not about me. So what I'm going to do is play the recording that I have with Miss Margie and I. And I'm going to shut my camera off so you can focus on her.
Margie,
since she is
Margie is one of Don Wells's daughters from his previous relationship before Candace. Okay. Now, I want to be very clear about something. Normally, I would not even cover stuff like this anymore. Normally, I would not cover anything like this. The only reason that I'm playing this is because it goes into a lot of what we talk about here, because this is irrefutable proof that there are people that know nothing of what they're talking about and how dangerous what they do is. Now, this is not the case here, not in this video. Okay. I want to be very clear about that. I think that she was, like I said, I think that damaged goods with no regrets. I think that she was extremely respectful in the way that she spoke to Margie here.
Is the important one here. So 1 moment and we shall start the recording. Hi, Margie. So this is Noelle, Damaged Goods with No Regrets on YouTube. You had given me permission before starting this recording, telling me that I was allowed to record you. I just want to make sure that now that I am recording, it's still okay with you. Yes. Okay. And you are Mr. Don Well's daughter. Yes. Now there are certain allegations being made against your father, and you would like to clear the rumor mill up because you're saying that it's not factual information at all. And everybody deserves to have the truth come out, especially when they're being drugged through the mud. So, what can you tell me about your relationship with your dad?
My relationship with my father, honestly, he's like one of the best dads I've ever had. Like, well, we'll ever have. But besides his drug problem, he's honestly one of the best. Like, he's always there for you when you need him, and he's always did anything that he could to help me out, whether it was money wise or someone to talk to, or he's never went against anything I said. Like, if I needed to talk to him about something, he would listen and try to help me out with everything. Like, I can't explain it.
How many kids does your dad have?
With my mom, he has 2, but with his new wife, Candace, he has 4.
So there's 6 total children between 2 women marriages, and he still was able to accomplish pretty much anything that he could to help you in any situation that you've ever experienced in life.
Oh, yes.
So that shows that he was very attentive to everybody's needs.
Yes, like, anytime he had, like, his little drug ordeal or whatever, every Friday he would, well, not every Friday, I can't say every Friday, but anytime he messed up on Fridays, I could always count on an hour lecture from my dad the next day. Even though I didn't do it, I never did anything wrong, but he would still lecture me about it. That way I wouldn't follow down the same foot.
So basically he was saying, learn from what I'm telling you and not by what I do when I mess up. Like, he knows that you saw and experienced the mess up part, and he felt overwhelming guilt, I would imagine, and he's trying to explain to you why you shouldn't fall in that pattern.
Yes. And my dad has always tried to teach me, like, not like the stranger ordeal. He always tried to teach me to watch out for people, because he'd always tell me, like, there's bad people in this world that'll want to kidnap you and stuff like that. And we used to watch what's that, America's Most Wanted together. That way he could, like, help me understand that it doesn't matter how old you are or how strong you are in this world, somebody is out there to always get you.
That's the truth. So he definitely wanted to educate you and make you experience all these different situations, so you were ready for the world that you had no idea was going to be, in your future. You were experiencing it early enough so that you were ahead of the game.
Yeah.
When he went on any, I don't want to say binges or like a one night or a weekend where he decided to, like you said, mess up and use something, was that time that he was using, even though it was short-lived?
All right, so those of you who just got here, what I'm playing right now, and you can find it on Damaged Goods with No Regrets channel. I'll go ahead and share the link to the video I'm playing right now. So it's only fair that you give it a view. This is an interview done with one of Don's daughters prior to his relationship with Candace Wells, or Candace Bly. And so she's up here saying, well, basically she's addressing rumors about how Don treated her. And it's very important. The reason why I'm playing this is very important, considering what I'm going to play afterwards.
Did that ever affect his relationship with you or any of your siblings?
Not with me. I know him and my mom fought about it a lot, but...
Right. I think that's normal. She wanted the best, and, that to her, in her eyes, wasn't the best.
All right.
So...
I don't know. My dad just, like... I don't even know.
Was he a full-time, like... I know he had to work, but when he was home, was he full-time, hands-on, involved with the family, involved with the kids? Just being, just because you're home and you're present physically doesn't mean that you are involved. You can still be a non-existent parental figure. So did he try to be in your lives all the time, no matter what?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. there's times like my dad would take me and my friends out to play basketball together, and I mean he wouldn't take just my friends, but like practically half the neighborhood.
So he was like a neighborhood dad too, like a normal
Wow.
everyday father. Like my parents, I can tell you, we would have some.
So right here, basically, according to Margie here, she's basically describing her dad as just a community involved guy. You know, basically the guy that he comes off as when he's trying to describe himself on a YouTube channel, the same guy, the kind of guy that he describes himself, or that you see, or he tries to come off as during a news interview or anything that you see this guy, like everything about his personality that you see matches what she's saying. And everyone who wants to vilify this person and accuse him of something that there's no evidence of, and the mother of his daughter who's missing, it's crazy because everyone, just to fit their narrative, you'll see the evidence and then they'll just overlook it and be like, oh, well, no, man, that's just an act. You know, and then they'll come up with some other thing. Oh, well, you know, he coached her to say this stuff. You know, and then you're just like, this is a grown woman. You know what I mean? This is a grown woman. She's perfectly capable. And there's nothing to fear at this point of just straight up saying, as a matter of fact, there's more to gain by throwing him under the bus and making a thing out of it. There's more to gain for her. But here she is, and she takes the time to speak to a YouTuber and say, hey, this is how my dad was growing up with him. This is how it was for me.
Sometimes 10, 15 or more kids swimming in the pool and hanging out, and we'd go to their houses and there'd be the same amount of kids. So he was just a regular, like, neighborhood friendly dad.
Oh yeah, I remember one time me and my best friend Crystal we went and rode bikes together on the bike trail at night, and my dad would follow behind us on his motorcycle. I loved it.
Oh, that's so cool. I used to ride a motorcycle
Dude.
a few years back, and my kids would always be like, hey, we're going to be at the park. We're going to be here. Can you show up?
I
Sometimes
appreciate
you ride the
you.
motorcycle.
Thank you so much.
And then kids would want to get rides around the park, and I could give them, the rides. But I could see your dad wanting to be like, okay, I could take you for a spin if it's okay, with your parents or whatever. Like, he's, from what you're making him sound like, he's just like a happy-go-lucky, I'm happy, my kids are here, my kids' friends. And he was a part of your life and experiencing you guys grow.
Right.
And I think that it sounds to me like that he was very blessed and honored to be your father. The father of
yeah. My dad, like, there were times that my dad was in prison and we didn't get to see him for long periods of time, but anytime he was there, he always made the best of it. I mean, he'd even take us to work with him and show us how to work. Like, he taught me how to spot nails first off, and I love it. I love the adventures at his job, like seeing the houses that he's building or whatever. And
all right.
I love it.
So following the kids while they're riding their bikes with his motorcycle around the neighborhood, just basically hanging out, right? When he's not serving time for fucking up and doing something stupid, he's spending time with his daughter, taking her to work with him and teaching her a skill. Wow. Yeah, this guy sounds like a menace, bro. You're really convincing me here.
I love it.
So he was definitely very hands-on. He even did the whole "let's take my kids to work" day, and oh my gosh,
Now this is a very this conversation goes in a very interesting direction.
Hill's excited.
Tragic nonetheless, but
there are some allegations going around on YouTube about a CPS case from the year 1994. I'm not going to lie, I have heard a lot of mixed things about this over the past 2 years or so, but I never got involved in any of it because I didn't have the facts to base anything that I said on. I can give my opinions, but that doesn't make it the truth. So you would like to speak on this a little bit. You told me just to help your dad and let everybody understand, coming from his daughter's mouth, that you know what the situation actually was. So I'm gonna let you take over and tell us about that.
They were saying that was happening when I was 3 years old. When I was 3, I was living with my mother, and I can't remember exactly who all was living with us at the time, but I do know at the time I was being molested by 3 different people. I was being molested by a half brother of mine, a foster brother that my mom adopted off the street, and a family member from my step aunt's side of the family. Yeah, his name was JR. I guess he's Debbie's son or something like that. That'd be Mary and Jenny, whatever her name is.
So you no longer have contact with that family, the step family.
I have not talked to them. I have not talked to any of them besides Jeannie and Trish and all them. They were about probably, I want to say about 10 years ago.
So 10 years ago, that's a long time. So it's safe to say that you pretty much separated your cord.
Yeah, I have not talked to them in years. The only one I can ever remember ever actually talking to was Jeannie, and that's because she had 3 kids.
Wow.
And honestly, I don't ever remember any of being nice to me at all. So I don't know why I would have tried to talk to them about it. I think I would have talked to my...
Now, so far, she has a very vivid memory, and she's making very specific points. She's describing very specific memories. So she sounds extremely credible to me.
To my Aunt Sonia before I would have talked to them.
Did you tell your dad about what was going on?
At the time, probably not. He does know now. Now that I'm more able to open up about it, because back then, I was too scared to talk to people.
I'm sure they probably made you feel intimidated to say anything also.
Okay, interesting. So, and at this point in her life, take note, people, at this point in her life, what she just said indicates to me very clearly and overwhelmingly that she feels comfortable confiding in her dad about her most painful and troubling memories. Think about that. People are accusing this man of violating this poor girl at a very young age. And she is up here publicly stating that all of her memories with him have been positive, beautiful, and that to this day, he's the person that she feels comfortable talking to about these things.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
Or rather,
now,
at least
allegations.
At least she feels comfortable talking to him. Maybe not. He's not the one. I don't know, but she feels perfectly comfortable talking to him, and that's very telling.
About this CPS case are made towards your dad. They're saying that Don Wells is the one that was doing all of these kinds of things to you. In fact, you're saying that it was not your father, it was these other 3 people. I won't even call them humans because it was the human thing. Do you know the whereabouts of your dad? I know it was a long time ago, and it's probably a hard question, but was he home? Was he incarcerated? Or?
I can't really say for sure. He's out in in one of three places, which would either prison, halfway house, or he was living with us, or living around somewhere.
Okay. Did you always reside pretty close, like a close proximity to your dad's house?
Well, my dad never lived outside of our house, other than prison and halfway house that I can remember. But if he did live anywhere else, it probably would have been his dad's house or something like that.
So, as of right now, we are saying that your father, your father, in absolutely zero way, no way at all, has ever done anything to hurt you or violate you.
No way at all.
I'm apologizing right now because I know that's probably hard to talk about, especially knowing that we're doing hurt you or zero way, no way at all has ever done anything to hurt you or violate you.
No way at all.
In absolutely zero way, no way at all has ever done anything to hurt you or violate you.
No way at all.
I'm apologizing right now because I know that's probably hard to talk about, especially knowing that.
Okay. So there, right there, this is the person that the internet, and I'm talking about the irresponsible side of the internet, the side of the internet that TBI was discussing and talking about when they said that it was because of that side of the internet that they have no leads in finding Summer. And here, Damaged Goods with No Regrets has the one person, the most reliable person that you can get to debunk this rumor. There's nobody more reliable. The other sister, the ex, nobody. Nobody more reliable than this person and what they have to say. If a jury was listening to this person, they would take everything that she says to heart. I believe that. I believe that that is evidence. That is something that a defense attorney would put on the stand and say, there you have it. Because I mean, I that's all I need to hear, when it comes to these accusations like this. Because think about this. Why? What does she have to gain by stating, yes, I am an SA survivor, and there were 3 perpetrators in my life, and none of them was my father, who the internet is accusing of doing so. I'm up here telling you it didn't happen. It happened to me, but not by him. And as a matter of fact, he's the person that I feel comfortable. He's one of the people I feel perfectly comfortable talking to this man as my father about these things that took place in my childhood. So that doesn't sound like someone who was victimized by Don Wells in the slightest bit. In fact, it's the opposite, because what she did was she described an example to me of what the opposite of what an abusive parent would do. It sounded to me like he was extremely involved and very nurturing. Was he responsible? No. But he loved his kids. Cared about his kids. Was concerned about the example he was setting for them enough to go, fuck, I don't know why I keep doing this, but I keep doing it. And I have to explain to my kid, please don't fall down this path. So now I'm gonna share that link one more time in the chat. Watch the whole thing. I recommend it. I'm not going to play the whole thing here. I just wanted to get up to that point because I thought that it illustrated perfectly well that coming from the most reliable person that this information can come from, this man was the opposite of an abusive father. Now, a husband, that's a different story, but that's not what we're talking about here. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is whether or not this man should be looked at as a suspect in his daughter's disappearance. And yet, so far, there is absolutely nothing that could be construed as evidence that would dictate that Don Wells had something to do with Summer's disappearance. There's nothing right now. Not yet. But it's been a year and a half. Almost 2 years. Almost 2 years since Summer went missing. And you're going to tell me that this person, who these same people like to make fun of and call dumb, he pulled off the perfect crime? Left everybody guessing and chasing their tails? The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and Hawkins County Sheriff's Department and the FBI? Really? I mean, he's so dumb, so you can make fun of this guy, but yet he's the smartest person in the entire subject matter of what we talk about here. And yet everybody who's accusing him of this has zero reason to think that he did this. That could be considered evidence. Zero. Susan M., thank you so much. Dads are so important. Yes. So give me just 1 second here and let's move on to the next thing. Let's move on to the next thing.
Zoom is great to interact on a call, but when it comes to doing podcasts, you have to be using Riverside. What are you doing if
you're
well, it's not as early as I wanted to come on here, but I had to get some things done first and out of the way so that I had a couple hours free.
So this is Ziggy. I don't know that much about Ziggy, but what I know I don't like very much. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the fact that she did let me up on her panel one time. She knew that I had a difference of opinion, and she was respectful to me while I was on her panel, and I will always be grateful for that. But she has done things since that I'm sorry. I just can't just, yes, Cherry. Thank you. Yeah, there's it started with the whole Bones thing in Atlanta or in Rogersville. Why did I say Atlanta? In Rogersville. It started with that. If you guys don't know about that, she decided to go out to Rogersville because everybody else in the world was going out to Rogersville. So she's going to go out and do her own little search for Summer Wells. And then she found Bones and freaked everybody the fuck out. Everybody without a brain anyway, because everybody that I knew with common sense was like, yeah, right. And sure enough, these bones turned out to be belonging to an animal or something, had nothing to do with anything. And it, then at the end of the day, she got called out. I called bullshit on it when it happened. And then there was this other thing that took place, and I was mad at a lot of people for this. Some I have just decided to look past because so much good that they do overwhelms just this one thing that I had a gripe with. And this one thing that I had a gripe with was these so-called vigils for Summer Wells. I think it was on the year anniversary of her disappearance. People decided to throw these basically parties, and it bugged me. I understand that some people thought that they were doing something in honor and in respect for her, but I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that I had no idea where Summer was or what she was possibly going through, if she's still with us, hopefully, and I'm still hopeful of that. And people are stuffing their faces with food and cake and laughing and streaming, and it grossed me out. It grossed me out. And I know that a few good people that I like a lot, they were involved in that, and I spoke my mind on it, and I was very vocal about it, and I still am, as you can see. But these are people who, like I said, they're the good that I've seen them do. This is the only one gripe that I've ever had with them. You know what I mean? And I believe them to be based on all of their actions, that their hearts were in the right place at the time. They just didn't think of it in that way, I guess, for whatever reason. And it is what it is. But there were other people who have done shit that makes that seem like an opportunity right away. And Ziggy was one of those people to me. And there was also Dolly. There was also Betty. It was just a whole gross scene to me, And I just, yeah. And even Ziggy being there, that made it look worse to me. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. Like, seeing Ziggy there, I was just like, this is in such bad taste, because I've never known her to do anything decent on this platform at all. And this is just another example here.
It's not as easy these days. I'm used to somebody like Jim always wanting to do stuff. He's always was
I don't know what
just
she's talking
wanting.
about here. I just want to get.
I was with Jim.
I don't know who Jim is, and I don't give a fuck.
Hold
on.
All that. Zingy, zingy, zingy.
What?
Hey.
Should I slow her down?
Justin. You changed your name to Justin,
I think she's going too slow anyway.
Since I'm, not even using Delta 8 or anything, it's just, I don't know. I'm happier when I don't.
Oh my God, I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about right now.
It's not in the evenings after work or whatever. Some people have a beer. Some people might take an edible. But I have noticed it affect me, like my hey, I listened to like 30 seconds of her phone number over a year ago.
Let me just get to it. Okay. I think they're now getting to it.
Why didn't he ever take Summer to meet Margie? She said she had not seen Candace in 11 years. Oh, really? So she said that. We'll listen to some of the call because.
Okay, so who gives a fuck? First of all, like, what difference does it fucking make if Dawn ever took Summer to see Margie? Who cares? What business is that of anybody? Is that just so you have one new person to start spinning a narrative about when it comes to whatever happened to Summer? I mean, she comes out as a victim, because this is how these things work. She'll come out as a victim, and then people go, whoa, 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 wait a minute. And then and she'll say, I'm not a victim of Don Wells, though. And then they go, whoa, wait a minute. No. That doesn't work for what we've been talking about and what we've been saying. So, you know what we're going to do, we're just going to start figuring out as much as we can about you, and then see how we can spin this into theories about how you could have done something to Summer. Blah, 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 jealous of another marriage and blah, 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 blah. Ridiculous. I'm just going to shoot that down before it even happens.
Guys, I'm needing in 11 years. Okay. So that would have been what? She saw Candace in what, 2011 or something? We'll play a little bit of Margie's. That's not at all heels in the air. I'm not saying she's lying at all. I'm putting the blame on Dawn, not her. If you're not, I mean, if you would take maybe
like, I got timed out a bunch. And it was super stupid, man, because I was just asking questions, logical, simple questions, the same way that I was saying when I was on her panel. And she doesn't even acknowledge them, by the way, but I still got timed out. But a bunch of people got on that panel and were like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, you just heard evidence that what you've been saying and what other channels have been saying is complete and utter bullshit about this father of a missing little girl, where there is no evidence that he had anything to do with it. All the evidence so far points to this guy really missing his kid.
If you would stop making all these like videos that are full of bullshit, you would have time to listen.
Oh my God. So she doesn't make videos full of bullshit. She's talking about heels in the air. So she's pissed at heels in the air. Let me tell y'all something. Blessed are the clip channels, especially when they piss off creators like Ziggy. I'm a big fan. I love it.
I can't figure you out, heels in the air. 1 second you're like cool, the next second you're not. A lot of you guys think with your emotions, or you think about what the person is saying, like who's saying it. Oh, I don't like that person, so I'm going to disagree with them, or everything they say I'm just going to shoot down.
Project much?
That's not how it works in this world. Okay, I don't even know what I'm saying this.
That's why I kept getting timed out for simply giving a counterpoint.
We've seen it. It's for almost 2 years. Dawn has been trying to get Margie to talk. Okay, that is just the truth.
How?
That is not putting on Margie. I thought she sounded scared. I felt bad for her because I feel like she was pressured.
How was she pressured?
That is not putting Margie down. That's her father putting her in that position. Take it out on him.
Okay, right there. So here she is saying it's Don Wells who is putting her in that position. He's further victimizing her and making her say these things. It's Don Wells. I'm not blaming the victim. I'm not attacking the victim. I'm saying it's him. Yet she has no evidence. And as a matter of fact, she admits that it's just her opinion, that it's not fact. She has no evidence against this. She is just spinning this narrative. She just decided that this is what she thinks happened, and then decided to speak it as fact on her channel. And she's raving pissed about it. This is what's really, really crazy. This is why I had to cover this, because I was in this chat and I was listening to this, and I was shocked at how raving pissed she was at people calling her out on doing something blatantly obvious as just spinning an insane narrative with nothing to back it up, which was counter to absolute solid evidence of somebody who was accused, an accused victim of Don Wells. And she's saying, I'm not. I'm a victim of 3 other people, but my dad never did anything to hurt me. In fact, he was just the best dad in the world. And today, I've talked to him about this.
Yeah. I'm so tired of people kissing Dawn's ass and Candace like we haven't seen this bullshit for almost 2 years.
She's so mad. It's so funny. I love when people get this fucking pissed over shit that has nothing to do with them, over other people that they don't even fucking know. This always blows my mind. But I love how mad she is. Sorry about that. I love how mad she is over this, because this just gets more and more and more where she gets worked up over this. Because what happens here is people are still calling her out. She's looking at the chat, and her chat is calling her out on all this. I mean, you have, and I hadn't even heard this part yet. I come in way later.
So I get so sick of people just following a crowd because they think it's a cool thing to do. We're 40, 50 years.
You know what I love? I love the thought. I got to tell you guys, I love the thought. It brings a smile to my face. That must have chapped her ass when I raised funds for Don's commissary in jail. Man, that must have that must have fucking that must have shot a blowfly so far up her keister. Which is why I did it, really. Which is really the real reason why I did it. Not her specifically, but everyone like her. Just to piss them off. Just to prove that how shitty these people are. That I could perform a kind act for someone, and they're gonna be like, oh, the motherfucker, how dare he? That's you gotta be a dark motherfucker, man. Just in the shadows, in the eyes of goodness. You know what I mean? Goodness doesn't see you, because you're too fucking busy casting a shit shadow over yourself, hating on everybody, and just not giving a fuck about how your behavior affects other people. It's and it's just so funny to me. I love to watch that shit. I love to put a mirror right in front of your faces just by doing something that simple, that just because you're so convinced that this dude did something horrible, that I raised money to make his commissary, to make his jail stay more comfortable. I was like, dude, just picturing him just stuffing little Debbie cakes in his face, reading a book, and just totally just Dorito and Cheeto mixes. Let me pour one in the other bag. You ever do that shit? Just take just mixing the shit up. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna make me some snack mix, wash this thing down with a fucking ho-ho, Patricia Sell, thank you. Keep up the good work, Larry. Appreciate that. Like, just picturing that shit and seeing people picturing that and flipping their shit over it made me laugh so hard. It just made me laugh so hard, you know, and also it warmed my heart to even to have done it. Like, just the fact that I brought people together in this chat that were like, yes, I'll fucking throw in some money for this dude to have a little you know, extra time on the phone. You make me laugh more than anyone. Thank you, Lex Lus. Appreciate that. Oh, Dolly Vision. Yeah, you have no idea, dude. You have no idea. Yeah. It's so crazy. It's so, the irony is too entertaining in a troll like that. The irony is just too entertaining in a troll like that. When you do something nice for someone where there's no evidence against them that they did something horrible, right? Nothing more than most people do, right? Type of one right now. Type of one if you've never driven under the influence of alcohol. Type of one. I'm talking never. You've never gotten behind the wheel of a car after being even slightly beyond the legal limit. See, I'm seeing a lot of ones, and here, Jennifer Long just read my mind. You bunch of motherfucking liars. I'm calling you out right fucking now. All of you lying motherfuckers, shut the fuck up right now. I'm not saying you made a habit out of it. I'm saying at some point in time, you had one too many and got behind the wheel of a car, even if it's for a short distance. You lying motherfuckers. I love how half my chat was like one and the other half was like liars. So I'm just making a point. This is why I felt perfectly fine shooting Don some money while he was in the can. I had no issue with that. And I will, every time I've ever talked about this, I've said the same thing, and I'm going to say it again now. There is absolutely nothing any of you motherfuckers or any other motherfucker can ever say to me that is ever going to make me regret a kind act towards another human being. Doesn't matter what they've done, doesn't matter who they are. Fuck you. It's not your problem. It's none of your business. If I want to do something nice for somebody, that's my business, and I am going to be damn proud of it, and I'm never going to regret it. Period. Anyway, moving on to Ziggy.
50 years old, people. This isn't high school. We don't have to fit in with each other.
She's all heated up. Let me slow her down.
It's obvious to see. He has, and if you don't know that, then you haven't been following the case. Because he has very much been trying to get Margie to speak out.
Patricia Sell, I said too. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I don't know how anybody wouldn't know that. Especially some of the people, like, yeah, she was Christian. It's not anything against her. I feel bad for her. She sounded scared. I felt like she was afraid.
I don't want to come off like I'm attacking a victim, because that shit doesn't go well on YouTube. No. I'm not saying anything against her. It's Don. He's the problem. What do you mean? How? In what way? Exactly. Explain to me how he did what you're accusing him of.
to say the wrong thing.
All right, I'm not doing the slow-mo thing.
And
I'm not feeling it.
understand.
I actually want to speed
I
it
don't
up.
even pay attention to anything she said. It doesn't matter what she said in the phone call to me because I know it's going to be all BS because she had Dawn and pressuring her. So we're not going to get the whole truth. We can't really.
So I guess while Margie was on the phone with damaged goods, right? Dawn was sitting next to her with a gun to her fucking hip, like, you better do what I tell you to. Now, see? Let her know you're okay, see? Tell her the good stuff, see? Come on, man. Like, wake the fuck up. I love how she's like, we're all adults here. And here you are describing a fucking episode of fucking the A-Team.
Really, we can't call Mary a liar or whoever a liar because of what Margie said on this phone call that we know damn well that Dawn was pressuring her.
How do we know? How do we know that? How do we know that damn well? See, this is what tragedy pimps do. How do we know that damn well? Where's the evidence? Like, this is somebody who I'm getting the indication that what she does is this all the time, but she does it with more careful, she words it carefully, more carefully. Here, it's clear, like there's no, it's indisputable. You have Dawn's daughter saying, no, he never, ever hurt me. In fact, he was a great dad. You have her saying this. So that's making anybody with even the slightest bit of common sense go, no, Ziggy, sorry, but that dog don't hunt. This isn't working. What you're talking about, it doesn't add up. Like you can't just wish it to be, and it is. And this is what she's doing. She's just going, Dawn pressured her. How? Okay, you have to come up with proof of that. And then when people aren't buying it, she's getting heated up over it, which I find absolutely fascinating. By the end of this, she starts crying. And I was like, what, are you crying? It was crazy. I was like, what the fuck am I listening to?
It's just.
Television, I hate you. Shut the
fuck up. I just can't figure some people out. I just don't understand why they feel like they have to go against somebody's what they say just because they don't like the person. Listen to the message.
That's what you're
doing.
doing.
Coming from, really? I mean, obviously you have to take that into account, but I mean, we obviously know. I'm not even going to say it anymore. It's so obvious.
No, it's not. That's the whole problem. That's why everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about, lady? It's not obvious at all.
I don't know about that, but Don was trying to get people to call his dad too, you know? His dad who has Alzheimer's, okay? Like and then people get mad
Where are you getting
creators who called his dad
when
Don was totally pushing them to do it. Not that it wasn't I mean, I understand why some people were upset and stuff, but some people don't. Sometimes we make decisions that we don't really think through. But Don was definitely pushing for creators and people to contact Margie and contact his dad. Margie was trying like hell to stay out of it.
Was that a pill bottle?
Sound too.
I mean, she could just have a headache.
Like saying
I got ibuprofen.
From what I
right
heard, she was talking about how amazing he was, and it was it was like kind of reminded me about how much Candace tried to look like a helicopter mom. It was OTT, over the top. And when it's like that, it doesn't come off genuine. It would have came off more genuine I haven't listened to all of it, but we'll listen. I'll pull it up here. We'll listen part of it. Hopefully White Boy doesn't care. I'll try to, let's have to stop it. And
why would you say hopefully White Boy doesn't hear? Like, why wouldn't you want him to know that you're streaming?
But I guess it's kind of funny to me that I hear people saying, well, oh, now we have that. Well, now we have.
I don't know why Damaged Goods took it down, but she put it back up. Like, even like we spoke directly in the chat, and I was just like, yo, you took it down? You know, she was like, no, I'm putting it back up as we speak. She never said why she took it down. I mean, I guess that's her business, you know what I mean? But I just can't imagine why she would, because it's solid fucking evidence. You know what I mean? Like, it's as credible as somebody's word can be.
Have the daughter come out. So didn't everybody hear Margie? Did anybody listen to Margie's call? Yeah, a lot of people did, but it doesn't mean it might as well never happen.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Maybe she just didn't foresee all the shit she would get from it. You know, it's gonna stir up shit, you know, but shit. I mean, what's funny is I don't know if I ever would have, unless she would have emailed me and been like, hey, I have proof that I'm Don's daughter, and I'm here to tell you that this is that's the only way you're gonna get me to talk to her. I'm not gonna reach out to some, no way. I would never do that. But the fact that Damaged Goods, I don't know if she did or who reached out to who. I don't know how it works. I don't know how tactful she was or how tactful she wasn't. I don't know. All I'm saying at this point is I'm glad that the evidence is out there. I'm grateful for that. Now, you know, and Don confirmed it was her. Okay, cool. So it's just so funny to me that evidence being put in someone's face is still something that, because this is what she's frustrated about. You can tell that she's frustrated about the fact that that is just undeniable. She's super frustrated at that fact. And her trying to make up this narrative that he pressured her into doing that interview and saying those things, and how she's freaking out in her own live stream over it, are both symptoms, both indications that she was proven wrong and she freaked out about it. This is evidence of this is what we're watching right now, is a meltdown and a realization that you sounded like an asshole this whole time.
And it's not, I'm not saying her fault, I'm saying it's Don's. He knows he pressured her into do that. And so do you guys.
How do you know that? I'm still waiting.
That's true. She probably does have great memories, but what would have sounded more realistic is if she would have mentioned some of the bad stuff and some of the good stuff. We all have negative memories of our parents. They're not, well, maybe not all of you guys, but, and I understand she's not going to want to go on there and dog her father either. She shouldn't have been put in that position.
See, here's the thing.
To begin with.
Oh, wow.
Really?
She should have never been put in that position. Get the fuck out of my face. You're not going to sit here and act like little miss, integrity. Little miss, I found bones. The interesting thing about this is that she has no reason to lie about this. So let's listen to what Ziggy just said.
Unless father, and some of the good stuff. We all have negative memories of our parents. They're not, well, maybe not all of you guys, but
pay close attention to what she says here.
And I understand she's not going to want to go on there and dog her father either. She shouldn't have been put in that position to begin with.
Okay, she's not going to dog her father either. I promise you that if she, as an adult, and the way that she got on that stream or on that phone call during that interview, and everything that she was saying and how she said it, I mean, that wasn't somebody who was just like, I don't want to dog my dad. That's not what that was. That was, wait a minute, whatever the fuck is being said about my dad is absolute bullshit. And this is why it's bullshit. He was a great dad. Yeah, he fucked up. Did stupid shit to get him locked up. But he was good to us. And yes, I was a victim. I was molested by 3 different people, she said. But none of them were my dad. No, he never did anything to hurt me or violate me. So, to me, that's just irrefutable. And all this person here, Ziggy, wants to do is not accept it. It's just really, really funny. So her saying, well, I don't want to, I'm sure she just doesn't want to dog her dad. No, it's not the case. She's not afraid of him either. She would say, I don't really want to talk about this. Really? You know, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you anything about my dad. She's not going to, you know what I mean? She's not going to put on this production and talk about all of these great childhood memories with him and go out of her way to say no. It's absolutely untrue.
Really, unless she wanted to, unless she really, really wanted to, but it did not sound like to me that she really wanted to.
What do you mean?
Let's listen here.
There was so much enthusiasm.
Hi, I'm Will from Zager LLC. If you use Steam, the PC game platform, you could be entitled to hundreds or even thousands of
Should have Bill and Ted'd that shit.
Let me.
Will.
The makers of Steam were sued in a federal class action because of their
is that
illegal
me?
monopoly.
Okay, yeah. I thought that was her.
Did he take it down or am I just okay right here?
They haven't been. And when they been,
Okay, yeah, I guess she took it down.
Did his wife
It was
post
down
the
when
video by itself?
listen,
it was down when she tried to look for it.
You're pointing the finger at Don for the drug use. You're paying $1 million for an ounce. Now the lady's saying, listen, bro, you don't ever piss off a woman. When a woman said, there ain't nothing you can do about it. They tell all your business. You never.
I'm sure about all that, but I just know that she wasn't making the payments.
What are you leaving out?
Yeah, what are you
I'm promising I'm not leaving anything out.
Come on, Josh.
Okay, how much did your girlfriend know about it?
We're talking about.
That was
Then why did you need the money if she borrowed it?
Oh, this is okay. This is a Josh thing. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear the.
And why did you go on and tell me that? How long? Really, it's really hard. Jenny.
Yeah. Allegations being made against your father, and you would like to clear the rumor mill up because you're saying that it's not factual information at all, and everybody deserves to have the truth.
What the hell is that person talking about? That I just happened to delete the comment. I just get it pulled up. We're sitting here talking about white boy life lockdown the whole time, and they're like, "Credit the video, you're playing." Hello, can you give me a fucking second, miss? Please? We're sitting here. It was obvious. We were sitting there talking about white boys.
Oh, she's a little uptight, no?
God.
I mean, she's wound really tight. I mean, if you're so sure of this narrative that you're trying to spin here, if you're so confident of it, why are you freaking the fuck out? Why are you snapping at everybody? Why are you MGLing?
No, we don't know if this is actually her. That's a good point. We don't know if it's actually her or her. I mean, only one person. I'm not saying it was a trick. If it's not her, I don't think it's a trick by a white boy or his wife. I think it's obviously something set up by Don. That's very, very, very possible. It could totally not be her at all.
Wow.
Let's listen a little bit more because it's kind of. Let me see here. Let's listen.
Come out, especially when they're being drugged through the mud.
She sure
did.
Deke.
What can you tell me about your relationship with your dad?
She sure did.
My relationship with my father, honestly, he's like one of the best dads I've ever had, like, will ever have. But drug problem, he's honestly one of the best. Like, he's always there for you when you need him, and he's always did anything that he could to help me out, whether it was money wise or someone to talk to, or he's never went against anything I said. Like, if I needed to talk to him about something, he would listen and try to.
That is a grown up right there. If you guys have ever listened to how Don Wells describes his relationship with Summer, he sounds like the perfect dad, right? He says, she's, like, she's my little princess. She is everything. And we were super close, super tight. And what Margie here is describing is very interesting to me, because she sounds to me like a grown-up version of a child that Don was describing that he had with Summer, a grown-up version of a relationship that he had with Summer. Not saying that's a grown-up version of Summer. I'm saying she sounds like somebody who had the relationship that Don is describing he had with Summer, and now she's all grown up. And she sounds very well adjusted. She sounds like she has a very positive relationship with him. It gels with the stuff that Don was saying about what kind of a dad he is.
Try to help me out with everything. Like, I can't explain it.
How many kids does your dad have?
With my mom, he has 2, but with his new wife, Candace, he has 4.
So there's 6.
Okay, so this is over on Damaged Goods, so it'll be White Boy's wife. And yeah, I still hear the same nervousness. Of course, you're going to be nervous because she hasn't spoke out, but like the stuff that she's saying, you could tell that she's not sure about, because that's why she's messing up and saying, oh, he's the greatest dad I've ever had. And that's not making fun of her at all. It's because she's...
How stupid does she think people are? Like, you're hearing this. I mean, she's even arguing with herself, and it's a tactic. It's a tactic to get people to look at her and go, you know what she is? She's actually very thoughtful, and she's very objective. She knows when she could be making a mistake. She's careful, and it's slick, but it's not slick because she's just doing it, but she's still doing the thing. She's like, oh, well, that's why she's messing up. She's saying she's nervous, or she's sounding really nervous, and that's why she's messing up. And it's not that she goes, of course she's nervous, though. Who wouldn't be in that situation? Of course she's nervous. But it's like, what are you saying then? Why bring it up? Other than to plant the seed in your listener's head of what you just said, that she is, making the stuff up. And she sounds nervous, and that's how you know that she's making the shit up.
On top of being nervous, she's stuck in a freaking spot between a rock and a hard place that Don Wells put her
she's
in.
not. No, she's not. She's not stuck between a rock and a hard place. Don Wells doesn't pay her bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a grown woman. She has nothing to gain by saying positive things about him other than peace of mind. There's no indication of it. Like, what is Don's hold over her to where, she's an adult now. She's an absolute adult. She sounds perfectly confident in the things that she's saying.
She's on almost 2 years without speaking out. And is White Boy in contact with Dawn Wells or something? Is that how this happened? Because.
And why are you pissed about that? And why does it matter how it happened? Why does it matter? Like, it didn't happen for you. Okay? Like, she's also hating. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is Dawn Wells has been on every fucking YouTube channel there is, man. You know? And then the people who have never gotten him on their channel, wanted him on their channel, are fucking super pissed now. They're all bitter and hateful. And it's just really funny. Like, people who didn't even want Dawn Wells on their channel ended up with Dawn Wells on the channel. That happened. It's just funny.
I know how hard Dawn was pushing me to talk to Margie, and I know I can't be the only one. How am I making fun of people? Marshmallow, I don't know why I unblocked you yesterday, but obvious mistake. Just he applauded the poor thing for not
see how she does that?
Yes, him and Dawn are buddies now. Okay, so he probably was begging him, which most creators would be all about it because it would be views. But the thing is, we can't take anything that she's saying for truth because we know that she's been pressured by Dawn.
How do we know that?
That's my opinion, but you guys will take it how you want.
Okay, this is where I started listening.
And truth because we know that she's been pressured by Dawn.
We know.
That's just my opinion.
That's just my opinion.
And I'm not dogging her at all.
And you guys could take it how you want. She just said, we know that she's been pressured by Dawn, but that's just my opinion. You guys can take that however you want, she says. Patricia Sell, thank you so much. Hey, drop a gear and disappear, Ziggy. Yeah, she's proving that she has no proof.
Oh, I'm dogging Dawn. He should. I think it would have been better if she wouldn't have spoke out.
It would have been better for you, right? Because you could keep your narrative going. Now you're panicking because you could see that your little cash cow is fucking sinking. Your little cash cow of talking shit about Dawn under the impression that he is somebody who hurts children. Well, now that's gone. It was proven wrong. People that were saying that this person was a victim of Dawn's and she actually herself gets on a panel or gets on an interview and debunks it completely. And so now your little cash cow of a narrative is sinking and you're freaking out about it. It's really funny. It's fucking funny.
I mean, at this point, you know what I mean? We all know. I mean, it doesn't do any good her speaking out now and for Dawn's reputation, except to the ones who are trying to, for some reason, make us all think he's just the most wonderful person ever. And I love Candace. Candace is the best. Yeah, you're full of shit. Oh, of course.
Why?
Of course,
you don't know them?
Everybody.
Bro, you don't know them. It's so crazy. That's the level of delusion that Ziggy seems to have here. Okay? Ziggy seems to have the level of delusion where her not liking somebody who she's never even met. Okay? Her dislike for somebody who she's never even met. It resonates so much to where she thinks that people that know these people should have the same opinion she does based on the little that she knows about these people. That the people that actually know them should share the same opinion. I call bullshit that they actually think that they're good people. Insane. No fucking way. That is the level of arrogance in these tragedy pimps. That is the level of arrogance. That they honestly think that their opinions about people that they don't even know should be shared with people who know them for years and years. And if they're not, they're lying. It's bullshit. You're telling me Candace is a good person? Bullshit. What? What? You don't know anything about her. You've never fucking spent time with her.
Oh, why Dawn and Candace don't trust anybody? Of course, everybody just screws them over. But
Yeah.
not me. Not me. I'm the friends. I'm going to be their friend. And I'm not going to ever record them or put any phone calls out ever, ever, ever. Yeah, I just want to be friends with them. That's it. And you guys are horrible. The ones that put out calls and stuff.
Wait, is she trashing creators for befriending Dawn and Candace and not recording things? Not giving her more content? Is that what it is? That's what she's pissed about? Like, this is crazy. It's just crazy. It's just really crazy that somebody is just this out loud insane. I've never listened to her to this degree. This is really, really entertaining for me. A lot of the stuff I missed because I was in and out, and I had and I was really involved in the chat. Eventually, Chasing Truth. I don't even think I was here yet. I thought that was the point that I entered, but I don't think that I was here yet because Chasing Truth isn't in the chat yet. She shows up, and it's pretty funny.
You're horrible.
And now I don't see. That's the whole thing is I don't, I'm not interested in becoming friends with Dawn or Candace Wells or Candace Bly. I'm just not interested, because I don't have anything really that in common with them necessarily. But I hope that they find their daughter, and I think the less that people get involved with them, the better chances of that happening. So that's one of the reasons why I just, I keep my distance as much as I can. And I'm like that in every case. I try not to reach out to victims if I, or at least I wait till the timing is more appropriate. And I haven't in a long time. I think that the last person that I tried to reach out to was Landon and Gannon's mom. Because we spoke, we direct messaged a little bit, and I did invite her at any time she wanted to come up and talk. And so, but that's not something that, I'm never like, will you do this? I will say, well, I have this channel and you're welcome to come up anytime you want. But on open cases like this, where the child is still missing, I don't feel comfortable talking with the subjects that are directly involved in the case, because I don't want to interfere with the investigation in any way, even inadvertently. I don't want to do that. I genuinely want Summer found. So I think that the less that Dawn and Candace interact with anyone on the internet, the better. But then you just have these piranhas, man. You have these piranhas. You have these people like Ziggy, who's just actually bitter about not having more content to rip apart. And especially if it's this, and look who she's highlighting, fucking Jaundice's comments left and right. You know what I mean? Like, you can just tell by the company these people keep.
Damn well they're doing the same effing thing. But it's worse because they're sitting there telling them, oh, we're your friend. We're your friend.
She sounds unhinged too.
we're going to stick by you and we're going to be a friend that you've never had before. So that's worse. That's being a friend and that's backstabbing.
Thank you, Patricia Sell. Thanks for sharing, Gloria. Love you. Thanks with love. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh yeah, he plays games. I mean, look how he does it. It's. I'm sure. I mean, in a way, I don't blame him. But at the same time, I think that Don and Candace wouldn't know anything that's been going on or being said. They're out in the middle of BFE. They would never. They could totally change their phone numbers and not go on YouTube again. Not even come in the chat.
Yeah,
not even entertain any of the stuff on here.
See, I agree with that, but at the same time, I can't really blame people for not really, like, being a YouTuber is not their thing. What they are people who live in a very, very, very modest type lifestyle. And when there are people all over the internet talking about them and saying things and making things up and spreading rumors, their natural instinct is to rebuttal. Their natural instinct is to defend themselves. They don't think of it as we do on YouTube as like, well, we're just giving them more power when we address them. They just see it as just plain and simple, you know, you say something about me, I'm going to defend myself. That's how they see it. So I understand it, but I do agree that they should not be doing it. You know, it's different. It's not the same thing as confronting somebody who's attacking your house. You know, like you're just throwing fuel on fire when you address these people. You know, sometimes if you're okay with that, that's fine, but it doesn't help find their daughter. That's why I feel like they shouldn't be jumping on YouTube channels, but they just come from a different world. You know, they come from a different upbringing where it's just like, holy shit, why are these hundreds of thousands of people talking about my life when they don't know anything about my life? And then their natural instinct is to defend themselves. It's what they constantly do. And like I said, it's not something that I agree with them doing, but considering the type of lifestyle that they grew up in and currently live in, I understand it. It's just crazy, man.
And they would have no idea what's going on here because they're so in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's driving their happy ass up there except fucking Chasing Truth and the other two or whatever. Because, you know, they're BFF now. We're BFF.
What?
And you guys are horrible. Like, as if.
I love how she says, you know, like, we're not in high school, people, but she talks like she's in high school. Like, this is a high school kid that I'm listening to right here.
We haven't seen for the almost 2 years the shit that they've done. Like, it's actually offensive.
This is a high school kid that I'm listening to.
It's actually super offensive.
Child.
Trying to paint them in some kind of good light or good light, like we're the bad ones. It's total gaslighting. I'm not going to sit here and say this shit didn't happen. But Don and Candace could easily stay off the internet. Stop blaming the creators. And the same ones hanging out there are just as bad. Everybody thinks that, oh, I'm not, they're different. They're different. Not me. Because we got let our minds, because everybody's minds go crazy thinking, I don't know. It's pointless to talk to them. They're full of games and nothing's going to come out of them. Like, no matter how good of friends you think they are with you. I mean, if anybody should have got anything out of them, it should have, I mean, Benny would have, right? Maybe even Ernie. Ernie was doing pretty well there for a while. I think
so she's making her own argument against her. She's making an argument against herself. Like, yeah, you'd think, right? Wouldn't you think that all of these YouTubers who latched on to Don and Candace Wells and became their friends, You don't think that those people would have gotten anything out of them? Again, so far, people, it's been almost 2 years. Come June, come the middle of June, it will be 2 years that Summer went missing. Okay? And nobody, these people have been so, this is the thing. These people, even though I criticize them for going on every YouTube channel, what it doesn't change is the fact that they went on every YouTube channel. Okay? Now, think about that for a second. All these times that when they talked to YouTubers and they got on YouTube channels and they talked to YouTubers behind the scenes and people recorded conversations with them and blah, 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 blah. Almost 2 years have gone by and yet nobody has gotten anything that they can actually use against Don or Candace. Think about that. How is that something that can be ignored? And she just said it. She's over here trying to crucify Don Wells, and she just said it herself.
I think anybody should have got anything out of them. You think they are with you? I mean, if anybody should have got anything out of them, it should have. I mean, Benny would have, right?
Right?
Maybe even Ernie. Ernie was doing pretty well there for a while.
Right?
I think Ernie got her the closest to telling the truth. But look at all the time they spent. Okay, I mean, why put your lives on hold? These people are, oh, we're never doing another Summer Wells video ever again. Because we're BFF with Don and Candace for life. Okay. Where's that going to get you? I think they think, oh, we're going to get a documentary. We're going to become famous off this. Or we're going to be on the news.
What?
That's what I think they're doing. While trying to play hero.
That's insane. Like, where is this lady's fucking brain?
What's her daughter being? Is Robin's daughter been up there?
Why are you talking about Robin's daughter? Why?
And then what was Candace doing on panel last night? I mean, yeah, or when was it? The night before or last night? I only heard a little bit of it. But, and yeah, she seemed to be, you know, she didn't seem to be wasted or anything. She seemed to be saying some pretty, people were applauding the things Candace was saying. But the thing is, guys, how long ago was it that Tim Mullins is putting up that he's not media manager? He doesn't represent them in any way. His thoughts and what he says is his own.
Welcome,
And
April Charbonneau.
They're done with media and YouTube. I mean, they're done with YouTube completely. I don't know about the media, but YouTube completely done. Well, why come on here and listen to it? Because all that does is, for one, it pisses you off when you hear things that are not true.
And classic,
you want to go on panels.
Classic shit right there. You know, right there, you always hear that shit. Well, you know what? You know, we're going to talk about whatever we want, man. We're going to talk about whatever we want, you know, and they don't have to listen to it. All they have to do is log off. We could talk about victims and their loved ones all day long and say all the shit we want. Throw them under the bus, create fucking rumors and spread them about these people. And it's not going to hurt them none if they just don't fucking listen to it. Well, bullshit. Bullshit. Because it affects their lives. Because at some point it becomes, I got to listen to it to get a heads up and have an idea of what to expect from it. Because somebody starts a rumor, depending on how vicious the rumor is, well, then that person is going to have to expect that people are going to start calling their jobs. That people are going to start calling CPS on them. That people are going to show up to their jobs and yell through a fucking bullhorn. I mean, this is all the time that these channels do this. All the time. Oh, well, just don't listen. Well, it's not that simple. There was a time I thought that way, a very brief time, and I smartened up real quick. But I was like, yeah, like, look at how this shit affects these people. And again, there's no evidence against Don Wells that he's capable of hurting children. There's no evidence of it.
And defend yourself. And it's just a never-ending cycle. So somebody has to be the bigger person and not listen. Not hundreds of people here on YouTube aren't going to stop talking. You know, can't get everybody to stop talking about Summer Wells. But Don and Candace are two people that could just completely stay off YouTube. I mean, well, Don's not working now, is he? Yes. I know, and I text somebody and I asked what was up with Grandma Candy being up back on the hill. I was told that was never going to happen. I am just flabbergasted. I thought that Candace got away from him, and I thought that she was speaking out. I mean, or I thought she was done with like covering for him or being, you know. I thought she was so over Dawn, especially. Ernie said that we should, ask where they are now and what they're doing.
Guy sucks.
Did Margie tell the truth? No, I don't think so.
So just so you guys know,
she was pressured to.
Just so you guys know, Cherry, when she says crispy McTwat muffin, she means Chris McDonough. And yeah, she's right. Like, yes, he is crispy and he is a twat muffin. But he's also responsible for starting all these fucking bullshit rumors and narratives.
Say that stuff. That's my opinion, G Crime. Like, none of us really know for sure. You just have to go with what you've seen over the past year and a half, or damn near 2 years of behavior, and then you can decide from everything you witnessed. But I would like to know, I wish that Ernie was so close. I don't know. I'm telling you, it has to be, for one, it's not going to be any woman that gets the shit out of him. Candace, it's going to be a male. It's got to be a man. It's just, and now that Dawn's out, I don't think that's even going to be able to be a possibility. But Ernie, you know, no matter how you feel about him, he did. I think he almost got Candace, to be honest.
Don was in jail for how long? You know what I mean? The big narrative everybody was trying to spin too was that Don was really in jail all that time because they were using jail to break him to flip on Candace, or Candace was supposed to flip on Don and feel safe because he was in jail. Hey, we've already got him. And if you admit to us what he did, then, you know, we'll never let him out, blah, blah, blah. You'll be safe. Bullshit. Because Hawkins County, even Ronnie Lawson denied that. So it's not even the case. It had nothing to do with it. It was Don Wells was simply in jail because he violated his parole, period. And he got the maximum sentence for violating his parole. That's it.
I really do. Took money out of her 401k to do the remarketing. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's supposedly she did. They'll fight with each other, but they know they have stuff on each other, so they end up back together. Ernie, I don't know exactly. There's some. See, I don't know the
that's
true
so
story
fucking
with that.
dumb. And so here she is, like, she's saying that Don pressured, and now she's trying to come off. Oh, I don't have any evidence of that. You know, that they're covering for each other, that they break up and then they get back together because they're covering for each other because they each have something on each other. And now she wants to be like, oh, well, I don't have any evidence of that. I don't know about that. Can't say stuff like that.
I've heard different things that he's in a hospital. I don't know. They say how drunk the kids were just there. Candace sounded, I don't know, she didn't sound drunk when she was on Daisy's recently. At least from what I heard, it didn't seem like it. At least if she had been drinking, she was not that intoxicated.
Total children between two women marriages, and he still was able to accomplish pretty much anything that he could to help you in any situation that you've ever experienced in life.
Oh yes.
So that shows that he was very attentive to everybody's needs.
Yes, like anytime he had like his little drug ordeal or whatever, every Friday he would, well, not every Friday, I can say every Friday, but anytime he messed up.
Natasha M., I agree with you. But I do believe that I think that Don should stay off for the interest of Summer. I think he should stay off and at least vet the YouTubers that he talks to a lot better. In the interest of finding Summer. I believe that. That is just my opinion. But you are right. He does have every right to speak to whoever the fuck he wants, how much he wants, as loud as he wants, say whatever he wants. He has every right to do that. I'm not convinced that how he's doing it should be is the best way of finding Summer. That's just like I said, my opinion.
He messed up on Fridays. I could always count on an hour lecture from my dad the next day, even though I didn't do it. I never did anything wrong, but he would still lecture me about it. That way, I wouldn't follow down the same foot.
Yeah, that's good, but I mean, I don't, it's just, I feel bad for actually, that's all I don't want to make her feel any more uncomfortable because I know I can tell that she's uncomfortable. I feel bad for her, to be honest. I really do. Like,
she doesn't sound uncomfortable at all. Other than just describing her childhood to a stranger. Just your typical level of discomfort that anyone would have. I would feel that way discussing my childhood with anyone, much less somebody who I know is going to play this on YouTube. So, I mean, to turn that into, oh, well, she's being pressured and she's scared and that's why she sounds like that. No, I'm not hearing that at all.
And the stuff that I'm saying, I just want to say once again, it's not against Margie. I think he was just been bugging the crap out of her, and he probably couldn't get any responses out of her that he liked, so he just went there and was like, I'm guessing he probably just showed up. Where's she live? Does she live out there in Utah?
Why do you want to know where she lives?
I did the same thing as far as what, Veronica?
Yeah, Ziggy's a fucking idiot. The more I hear her talk, I'm just like, man.
What? You never heard me say, I'm never going to do a Summer Wells video because, and you didn't ever see me go like complete opposite. Like being their cheerleader. And then, no, when I've gone back and forth, I will say, I don't know what to think. Like, or when I met Dawn and Candace, I'm like, I don't know. They seem nice. Like Dawn seemed like, I was being honest with my feelings. Like, and what I truly felt, it's not, there was a period of,
it's just so crazy to me. These people just like don't pay attention to anything. Like they want to focus on shit like, oh my God, did you hear Candace? She was so drunk. She was all pilled out. They want to say the same thing about Dawn too, and it's true. I've heard them on live streams fucking shit-faced. And I'm like, these people are shit-faced. Sure. Like I've heard it myself, but you'd think in all these other times, like instead of focusing on the fact that they were shit-faced and using that as a reason to vilify them and focusing, oh my God, did you hear that? And then judging them on that, on the fact that they were intoxicated. How about pay attention to the fact that they were intoxicated and they still didn't incriminate themselves? Even though you're convinced that they did something to Summer. All these times that these people, I mean, how many opportunities have there been to fucking talk to one of these people, shit-faced on God knows what on a live stream, and yet not one time did they slip and incriminate themselves. Not one fucking time. But the focus, even though the narrative is they did something to Summer, the focus is, look, they were drunk. Okay? But they still never incriminated themselves, even under the influence, when the people that had them on their YouTube channels were trying to trick them into admitting something. All the while making fun of them for being stupid. Yet they're master criminals to where they could be fucking pilled out and drunk and they can stick to their story and not slip up at all. So which one is it? Are they idiots or are they masterminds? Because it's got to be one or the other. It's got to be one or the other.
Confusing. But yeah, there has been sometimes I'm like where I start to think maybe they aren't involved, but it wasn't me trying to be their BFF. When I was contacting them, just like anybody else, actually, I didn't even have to reach out to Don. Once he gets his mindset that once he's got you on his mind that you're gonna be, once he starts contacting you, he just keeps contacting you. You don't have to reach out to him. He is his own worst enemy, and he will contact you constantly while you're live. I never contacted him. Most of the stuff that you guys saw was done
I'll admit,
while I was live.
Don is a character, okay? Don is definitely a strange character. You know, some of the things you hear him say, they're definitely different than the things that you would hear anyone else say fucking ever. True. But none of these things ever indicate that he could ever hurt his own child. None of these things that he does, none of these ramblings about the church and about God and blah, 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 none of these things have ever implied that he was someone who had a desire to hurt children. None.
There's only a few phone calls, and one of them, there was a couple that were quite interesting for sure. When he's talking about a 12-year-old's body being a body from hell. For those supporting Don, you guys realize that he openly talks about a 12-year-old's body like it's normal. So imagine what's going on behind closed doors. It's because his whole life he's been around the shit. And it's become normal to him. So sometimes, yeah, he does slip up and say stupid shit like that, but I don't think he's ever going to slip us. We can't ever tell, what is the truth. He probably has told us some things with what happened this summer, but it's hard to, pull it out of all the nonsense.
She's not getting this from anywhere. This is what I love.
I don't know. I don't know. There's nobody in particular,
it's coming
the judge,
straight
trying to be their BFF.
out of her ass.
It's just that I don't.
She is pulling everything she's saying about Don Wells right out of her pooper. That's nothing of what she's saying is credible. None of it can be traced or none of it.
The ones talking about, some people, how they went on the complete other side, and then, good and well that they're going to be right back on the other side and be like, yeah, I got sucked in,
Yeah, she doesn't know Summer's case. She has retained a few pieces of what has been said by others on her panel or crap from Fred. That's it. I believe that. Because she hasn't talked about anything. If she was so sure of Don's guilt, she would be spouting shit that had shit you could reference. You could go back and listen to this, go back and listen to that. Remember this, blah, blah, blah. on this date, this happened, blah, blah, blah. She's not doing any of that. She's not doing any of that. She doesn't know anything of the case, it doesn't seem. She's just trying to convince people based on nothing that Don is a horrible person. It's really, really funny to watch. And you call yourself a crime channel, yet you haven't shared any details of this case at all. And it's about the case for you, right? Okay.
Oh yeah, the whole scene. Oh, I've seen kids being traded for drugs before in motels. That whole thing. And while his sister's trying to get him to shut the F up because a YouTuber is on the phone, that YouTuber being me. And I felt bad for his sister in a way, Sonia, because she was so desperately trying to get him to stop going on YouTube and contacting people and stuff. But it's a lot. He just.
Oh yeah.
That's why I like when they came out the other day, or when Tim Mullen was saying, "Oh, they're done."
This is a perfect example of what's wrong with the crime community and its reputation. This is a perfect example.
It's like, yeah, until when? We had Candace on the panel yesterday. They have not spent one day off of YouTube since then. They have been in the chats ever since. He was in a hotel in California with a bunch of kids being trafficked. Why was he there? Yeah, probably from.
What?
He said she took it like a champ. Why isn't he trying to get justice for kid's daughter? Talking about essay from the men that abused her. Yeah, he did. He made it out to be like, oh, she's his daughter's so amazing because, you know, she's able to take these things that happen to her, or, you know, she doesn't go crying like a baby or something like that is what Don said. Sometimes he just says the wrong thing because
she's just sitting up there shit talking. Like she's not sharing any details of the case, nothing at all. She's just up there shit talking.
He's just so drunk and being stupid. But like when stuff like that comes out, it just really shows like the person he is.
What do you mean? What do you mean it shows?
No,
the
I went to
person that
church
he is?
by myself. I showed up to church by myself. The judge. How did I know that you were getting to this is what you were getting to? How did I know when your line of questioning is saying, so who in particular, and it's trying to be friends with, so who? You should change your name to the detective instead of the judge. Did I try to befriend them to get a dog for my daughter? No, I talked to, how many times did I talk to Dawn and Candace? The one trip. I don't care to talk to them anymore.
Wait, I remember that.
And the whole dog, thank God.
I remember that. Wait a second. Yeah, what the fuck? What's her fucking problem now? Wasn't she fucking trying to hit them up for a dog? And wasn't Don going out of his way to get her a fucking dog? Do I remember that? Like, that just fucking hit me. I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that. Didn't she, like, wasn't there this whole fucking thing going on with a dog and he was going out of his way? Don was trying his, like, he tried to give her a fucking dog and he got in an argument, if I remember correctly. Like, I'm remembering as I'm talking, people, so forgive me, please. If I remember correctly, he gave her the fucking dog. She went to the house to pick it up. Or she was going to go to the house to pick it up. And Candace said, no, she can't have the fucking dog. Candace saw right through her bullshit. And Don was like, Don was just trying to be nice. Regardless of everything, he was trying to be nice. They knew about the bones and all that bullshit. And Don was like trying to be nice. And Candace got pissed at him for being nice to her. And trying to give her a fucking dog. And then Don was just eventually like, Candace don't want me to give you the dog. I swear I remember that.
God that we did get Athena, because the one that we were going to get died 2 weeks afterwards. Oh, yeah, I befriended him for a dog. Okay, come on. Yeah, that's why. And guess what? We still have Athena here.
Yep,
Shouldn't
that's
you just be
it,
happy
dude.
that Athena, like my daughter talks about, how that dog's her best friend, you know, and it's really cute. And, you know, it really worked out wonderfully. So I don't see why you would have a problem with it. Oh, I can't think of anything. So I'm just going to say, you befriended the Wells for a dog.
So that's your answer?
I thought those dogs were just,
is you mock? Hold on. I want to see her explanation for this.
They say
you mock this person because they called you out on it?
Oh, that dog's her best friend. Your dog. Okay, come on. Thing. And the whole dog, thank God that we did get Athena, because the one that we were going to get died 2 weeks afterwards. Oh, yeah, I befriended him for a dog. Okay, come on. Yeah, that's why. And guess what? We still have Athena here.
You did.
Shouldn't you just be happy that
you did.
Athena, like my daughter talks about how that dog's her best friend, you know, and it's really cute. And, you know, it really worked out wonderfully. So I don't see why you would have a problem with it. Oh, I can't think of anything. So I'm just going to say, you befriended the Wells for a dog.
Hold on, y'all.
I thought those dogs were just, you would have a problem with it. Oh, I can't think of anything. So I'm just going to say, you befriended the Wells. And, you know, it really worked out wonderfully. So I don't see why you would have a problem with it. Oh, I can't think of anything. So I'm just going to say, you befriended the Wells for a dog. Anything, so I'm just gonna say, you befriended the Wells for a dog. When I thought those dogs were just, what'd they say? Those aren't their dogs, they're just strays.
They're their dogs, man. Dude, you know how many people out in the country just fucking have dogs on the property and feed them and shit? That's their dogs. They play with them, they do whatever, but they live outside. It's their dogs.
Don't think so. Children and women should take it. Yeah. Claimed to see sex slave girls in California for sale to Chris McDonough. Said they all kept. Oh, yes. Yeah, well, and but nobody runs down. That's another thing. That was an odd thing, seeing the dog at the side of the road there that died because they had so many dogs running around out there. I guess it supposedly got hit, but it makes me feel like,
wow, was
that dog intentionally hit? Because people were tired of all the dogs around there.
So now the dog was intentionally hit. Now the dog was intentionally hit
out there. And nobody drives out on that road. So it really makes you, gosh, you have to go slow down that road.
Yo, this fucking asshole's channel is rumor soup, dude. Like, it's ridiculous. I can't believe anybody listens to this shit.
It's just, I suppose, I guess stranger things have happened. I suppose it could have been an accident, but no, when I went to the church,
it was likely an accident.
I don't need Don and Candace's permission to go to a public church. You understand that, right? And I don't need the permission to go to Tennessee either.
No, you don't need their permission to go to that church, but it's still a shitty thing to do. Like, see, that's the point. Just because there wouldn't be any legal consequences for it doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do. It doesn't mean that it's a nice thing to do. Doxing's not illegal, but you're still a fucking piece of shit if you dox people.
Nor anybody on here's permission. Just like you guys don't need my permission. So there's more than Dawn and Candace over in Beach Creek. And actually, if I could talk to anybody right now pertaining to the Summer Wells case, like one-on-one, it would not include Jody Sue. It would not include Candace or Dawn. And
it's not illegal,
not Andy either, because he's
I don't trust. You can't believe him either. No, I want to talk to people we haven't heard from before. Didn't they invite you? Kinda, in a way, but I was already planning on going. He contacted me like 2 days before church was. It was like a Friday. I had already been there for a few days. I was leaving on Sunday. I was going to go to church on my way out just to check out like Summer's church. And, you know, Caitlin started begging for a dog, and Dawn just happened to call that Friday. And yeah,
let me
in touch with these guys. It's, however,
Totally. That's what I mean. Like, there's no fucking reason to be talking about this case unless you're just sharing her description. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, there's nothing to cover. Everything's fucking rumor. Everything's irresponsible speculation that has caused a very limited resourced
that's not what I said.
law enforcement agency
at all.
To
That has,
not have any leads.
That is not at all what I said. I said I do what my parents say. So yes. I don't know how you got that. What I said, how I wouldn't come on here and what? It's been 2 years, guys. If you want to lie to yourself, then lie to yourself. But I choose not to.
More kids swimming in the pool and hanging out.
Oh.
Well, they just turned off the obviously turned it off because they didn't like what we were saying, I suppose. I don't know. But that's just my opinion, like I said.
So this is
it's
where
not fact because we don't know the fact.
Okay,
so,
listen to that real quick. This is very important. Pay attention.
Dawn's daughter told Mary's
second time she does this.
Daughter what Dawn
in this
did.
Stream.
Mary filed a report to DCS. That's right, country
now,
girl.
This is where I started listening.
It wasn't Margie. According to
this is where I started listening, and then I showed up in the chat.
Mary, it wasn't Margie that came up to her and told her that. It was Mary heard it through her daughter, right? She said his name in the interview. It's not whether I believe Margie or not. It's the fact that she's been put up to this. And that's just my opinion, like I said.
Okay.
It's not fact because
you just heard her. Margie's been put up to this. And it's just my opinion. It's not fact.
Because we don't know the fact. So
and why are you so sure then?
I definitely don't believe Don was like the best father in the world, like the best father ever. I don't believe that.
Why?
And I don't.
Why is that so fucking hard to believe? Why is it so hard to believe that this guy loves his kids, but he fucks up in life? Why is it so hard to believe? That's not a crazy thing. That's not an unbelievable thing that somebody who has substance abuse problems and makes bad decisions with his life, it's not unbelievable to think that he loves his kids. and is a positive person as far as being emotionally available to them. And maybe that's what was most important to Margie. To Margie, that is what made him a valuable father. She accepted the fact that he messed up and did bad things. But it sounds like he raised her trying to say and taking responsibility and saying, I should not be doing this. Not, hey, the whole world is against me and blah, 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 and then takes it out on his whole family. That's not what Don Wells is doing. Don Wells seems to have always been the type of person that screws up, owns it, fails to learn from it, screws up again, but owns it. That's the vibe I get from Don Wells. And people, the most credible people that you can think of, all say this about him. Yet the people who don't know him are so fucking sure that they got him completely snowed. They got him all figured out. People who have never spent any time with this man are so sure that the people who have spent time with this man are fucking liars. Imagine that.
I don't know how any of you guys could actually say that without kind of laughing a little bit and keeping a straight face.
Because there's no evidence of it. And because
that's absolutely ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. Because a victim of SA from 3 different perpetrators, people she trusted, spoke up about it as an adult, has nothing to gain by defending her father against the allegations and saying that he was not one of them. And as a matter of fact, he was a damn good father. So, but you have the audacity to sit here, never spending any time with the man, never meeting the man, never meeting any of his kids, nothing. And you are so fucking sure that he's a bad father. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And I don't see how you could sit here and not laugh at that notion. I can easily sit here and not laugh at the notion that Don Wells is a good father. Or at least a loving father, a caring father. At least that. I'll say that. I'm not saying he is a good father. I don't know. I've never met the man. I've never spent time with him and his kids. I don't know. And to be frank, I'm sure that there's a reason why CPS removed these children. And if I had to guess, that reason was likely that Don Wells continues to make mistakes that could likely get him locked up for a very extended period of time. Because he continues to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. And eventually a judge is going to be like, this guy needs to do real time in a prison. That's the only way he's going to learn. And that is enough for CPS to say, this is not a fit parent. That's enough. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he didn't love his kids. Just made bad decisions that were not in their interest. And yes, I'm not saying he's fit. He's a fit father. What I'm saying is there's no evidence to indicate that he's not a loving father and a caring father. That's all I'm saying.
How long before, I still haven't seen, like, how long before did Dawn visit her before this came out? Who said calling his daughter a liar? Nobody's calling his daughter a liar.
Yeah, you are.
I'm calling Dawn a liar.
No, you're not. You called her a liar. You said that he had her lie. That you don't believe that. I mean, you played her saying that he was a great father. And here you are saying, I don't believe that he was a great father. That is calling her a liar. Sorry, but it is.
Possibly DC. Neither of them can remember Summer's birthday. And right, Janet, and you're not having to just believe. You're not having to believe just one
Don't they not?
Person, you know, we've heard.
I don't know. I heard this, but I don't know if it's fact. But don't they not celebrate? Isn't their religion, or at least Don's religion, that they don't celebrate birthdays? I don't know if that's fact or not. I heard that somewhere. I don't know if that's fact.
Story. We've heard this all over a long period of time, you know. I don't believe her what she's saying, kitty, because
but
Dawn
she's not
put
a
her
liar.
up to it. So if Dawn put her up to it and I don't believe her, then you can pull it apart.
So Dawn put her up to lying, which would make her by definition a liar.
You want to try to make it seem like I'm talking bad about her, and I don't care how you put it.
You are.
Say it however you want.
Here it is, Ziggy. I'll explain it. Okay, you're talking bad about her because A, like I said, you're calling her a liar. B, what you're also doing is minimizing her as a victim, someone who was actually brave enough to speak about her, about what she suffered and what she endured, and to speak in defense of her father. This is a brave woman. This is what victims advocates do, is they defend victims. They acknowledge their bravery for speaking out publicly about their experiences. So you are sitting here not only calling her a liar, but you're also minimizing her as a victim. You're minimizing her as a strong woman. You're taking that away from her. You're chopping her legs out from under her. And that's not okay. That is attacking her. So for you to sit here and say, oh, well, I'm not talking bad about her. I'm not talking bad about her. You're absolutely talking bad about her. You are insulting her in the most worst way that you can insult her in this situation with what little you know about her. The little that you know about her, you just took and destroyed it. You're destroying, you're attempting to assassinate her character. And then you're sitting here denying it.
Want to. I'm telling you, my anger is towards Don because he put her in that position. If you don't want to believe it, I don't care.
Then why are you getting so worked up about it?
That's what my anger comes from, and I'm actually fucking pissed about it. Because why couldn't he have just left her alone?
How do you know he did anything?
He's been trying forever. I know because he asked me.
She's pushing this narrative so hard. She's trying so hard. He pressured her.
She was hesitant because she didn't want, for one.
Why couldn't he leave her alone when we don't think he even approached her in the first place?
To lie. I'm guessing. I mean, why wouldn't, who wouldn't come out and speak up for their dad? Who would not come out right away and be like, my dad's not
an adult who has been dealing an adult who has been dealing with the trauma that their father put them through, and for her to speak up and say that she was a victim of other people and not him shows that she's a strong woman, a strong person who is a survivor of trauma. So you're sitting here and you're saying, oh, well, who wouldn't want to speak up for their dad? Well, if their dad victimized, if her dad, in the heat that he's in right now, if he victimized her, I guarantee you she would be speaking out against him. I guarantee it. The fact that you're trying to convince people that he made her talk and say these things just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. That dog don't hunt. It doesn't add up. It makes no sense that she would succumb to Dawn's wishes if she was victimized by him in the way that she was talking. It doesn't add up.
That's not that at all. He's nothing like people are saying. Wouldn't you, if somebody was saying that to you about your dad, immediately you want to wait 2 years, okay? No, that is because Dawn put her up to it. And anybody who's been watching this case for the past 2 years, I feel like you guys, I don't see how anybody couldn't see that Dawn encouraged her to do that. Yeah, it was totally about Dawn. What is wrong with these people that always have to stick up for horrible people, criminals, pedos? Is it because they're just like them? Yeah. Well, I think so in some ways. Not meaning that they're
Careful.
a pedo or that they're exactly like these people, but sometimes like misery loves company. And
yeah, see, she's not that stupid. She knows better than to fucking start saying that. She knows better because she knows there's a lot of people in her chat that are making a lot of sense. And if you go and spin that narrative and say, oh, well, the reason why that they're defending Dawn is because they must be predators themselves. Well, then that's called slander. And you do that, oh, you're opening a can of worms that you don't want to open. And she knows that.
And sometimes people just are going through things in their life and they're bored at home. And so they come on and they make channels like Tragedy Pimps Exposed and
shout out,
act like they're better than when their lives are in shambles and they haven't even come on and shown their own face. Or, I don't even know if we've even heard.
Like, how do you know their life is in shambles? What do you know about them? What are you talking about?
Their real voice. We don't know their lives, but yet they're sure as hell judging everybody else's.
Right. See, right there is very, very telling the type of person that she is. So here she is saying, we don't know their lives, but they're real quick to talk about other people's lives. Right. Right. Because anonymity is a right. Okay? Because yes, they could talk about other people's lives because those lives that they talk about, those people willingly put their lives out there to be subject to criticism and review. They do that. Simple. So they're subject to it. Those people who choose to remain anonymous are smart. They're just smart. That's all it is. You're just pissed and you're showing this. By pointing this out, you're showing that you're just pissed that you can't dox them. You're pissed because they stay anonymous and they give you no fuel to be able to dox them. Because you know they're right about what they're saying. And so what you want to do is go real life, because that's your answer. Everybody like you that thinks this way, oh, well, that's why we don't know anything about their lives, but they can talk about other people. Yeah, that right there shows your motive. That you know that these people make sense when they describe creators like you, and your answer is to go real life on them. You all seem to do it. That's what you do when you're wrong. And you're and you're like, it's what you do when you're wrong. And you're so fucking goddamn wrong always. Always. That's what's really funny to me. You're wrong just so fucking goddamn always.
I just choose to be honest with myself and everybody, no matter what, even if it's going to get like a whole bunch of people mad at me. Because no matter what, there's always going to be people who go against what you say. Sometimes more than other times. And you just got to keep going. You have to stay true to yourself. You have to, it will pay off in the end to do the right thing and stick to what you believe.
I love how you think that you're doing the right thing. These people always think they're doing the right thing. That's always so funny to me. These people who think that they're doing the right thing, they want to know who somebody is so they can go real life on them. But they believe that they're doing the right thing. And they do believe it. That's what's really, really funny, is she absolutely believes that she is fighting the good fight for Summer Wells when she's not at all. She's just trashing her dad, who Summer, with at least the evidence that we have made available to us, loved her dad. Loves her dad. Excuse me. Loves her dad. So there's just and this infuriates them, because they spend hours and hours on live streams for months and months and months trying to make this person out to be such a horrible person, and evidence always comes back to the contrary. And then they have meltdowns like she's having here.
You believe it's the right thing. It might suck for a long time while you're waiting for the truth to come out and stuff in the meantime, but as long as you are doing the right thing and you know what you're saying is and your intentions are in the right place, and you know that what you're saying is to be how you truly feel, not because of who you like, who you're friends with, who you're mad at the time. We have to take inventory all the time. I do with myself. Okay, is this really how I feel? Am I biased in one way or another because of what, for whatever reason?
So you don't see that you're being totally biased here? Like, you're literally making shit
you don't
up?
Tell people who's welcome here, so you're not welcome here. You don't get to tell people who gets to stay and who doesn't. Ziggy, you were onto something. Now they got what they wanted. Always want distractions and bigger pictures. Opinions don't matter. Keep digging for the facts. Many are failing. I know. They're sitting there freaking making buddies with the devil.
Yo.
Dancing with the devil.
Gray Hughes.
As my freaking dad would say.
Thank you so much, buddy. That's awesome. I can see the super chat. I hope that I can see all the other comments. Keep on trucking. I appreciate that, buddy. Yo, if y'all if y'all want facts, subscribe to Gray Hughes, man, when it comes to these cases. Yeah, Gray is the truth, people.
Hanging out in the cesspool. You guys, birds of a feather flock together. Think about it. If you want to be a better person and better people, would you be fucking hanging out and making best friends with Candace and Dawn?
Oh, that's so awesome, man. Like, I'm so glad I could see your comments now, dude. Like, this is great. Yeah, we had this problem forever. But yeah, Gray Hughes can see my comment. I can see your comments in the chat. I love it. I appreciate it, man.
The people hanging out there in that area or on the hill, and I'm not talking going over there and for interviews or whatever. I'm talking about like hanging out there and we're, as friends.
All right, I'm going to address this real quick because we rarely get a chance to do it. So, Gray, man, if I could see your comments, it can't be on my end. It can't be on my end. If I can see your comments in my chat on both my phone and in my StreamYard chat, like, it can't be on my end. So I'm just saying.
People like that, it starts to rub off. And I choose to keep my aspirations and sights set higher than people like, Dawn and Candace, who are not trying to improve their lives.
Okay.
All that's going to do is pull you back.
I love how she's trying to be like inspirational now. This is fucking hilarious to me.
No, I'm going to stick with my intuition and the facts that we have seen over the last, what little facts we have seen over the last couple years.
What facts are those? Where are they?
And
where are those facts?
What have we seen? It's been evident this whole time. What has Dawn,
please explain,
and Candace been trying to do?
What? What have they been trying to do? Please enlighten us.
Exactly. Another good point. Yes, and they want you to, exactly, crazy cat lady. Thank you to the ones who are being honest and true to yourself. No matter if it's the opposite of what I say.
Shit. As a matter of
fact, not, even if that causes me to get pissed off at you and block you, whatever, for the night. At least you're saying true to yourself.
Let me try something.
But if you're coming, I have a feeling that many people just go along with it because they have a lot of hate in their heart, and birds of a feather flock together. And that's why you see like people, look at it. Look, people who are doctors usually hang around with other doctors. People who are nurses usually hang around with other nurses.
All right.
Hang around who you want to be like.
Look, I love this. She's so insightful.
You're not going to move up in any way hanging out with Dawn and Candace when they're obviously not trying to do the right thing. People have tried Dawn's sister, Sonia, has tried so fucking hard with him to keep him off the internet. I wouldn't be surprised if Tim Mullins did that all himself just to separate himself from the Wells, because he's probably tired of, I would think he's tired of them.
Can you see my comment, Gray? Let me know if you can see my comment.
Self-sabotaging. I wasn't saying anything.
Calamity
about
Jade.
Damaged goods.
Thank you so much. Gray is the only one in chat that's highlighted Gray with check. Yeah, when you hit 100,000 subs, you get verified. And Gray just recently hit 100K, which I'm surprised it took that long, if I'm being totally honest. Okay, I don't know, man. I didn't think I could before.
or White Boy. And I'm not dropping any link to anybody. I was talking about Dawn Wells. Dawn Wells is a liar who put her up to that.
See, people like this are never going to drop a link for anybody, even though they love to have these open panels with like 1,000 people on there causing nothing but fucking chaos and confusion. But they love to do that. But when their chat is actually saying, hey, where is your proof? And how are you making these allegations? It's pretty telling that Dawn Wells' daughter coming forward and saying that he is a good person and that he's a good dad and that he never did anything to me. Well, that's very, very telling, you know, and somebody who's trying to have this conversation with you in a chat, and it would be a lot easier to interact with you and speak with you about it. Of course, you're not going to drop that link because you know that you have nothing substantial to back up your claims. So obviously you're going to be like, nope, I'm not dropping a link. Even though if the narrative was going in your favor, you'd fucking have a whole open panel of people just fucking, yeah, this, and this, and this, and Don this, and I bet this, and I heard about this, and I don't know, blah, 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 blah. I mean, this is what you people do.
He was trying to get me to contact Margie over a year ago. He's been trying to get other people to contact Margie. This has nothing to do with White Boy or his wife at all. So whoever ran over there and tried to act like it was about them, which I knew they would do, it's not.
It's shitty to damage, not to White Boy, but to damaged goods, because she did, no matter what you think about her channel, okay? No matter what you think about her content, I've reviewed her content and made fun of her and White Boy before. I have. But here's the thing, no matter what you think about her channel, that particular interview was done respectfully and it was done insightfully. There was a lot of clear information coming from that, and she was very respectful in how she was speaking to an alleged victim. And so no matter what you think of her channel, you can't deny that. Now, she's sitting here and saying, well, I'm not saying anything bad about her, and I'm not saying anything bad about White Boy. Dolly, sorry. I'm not saying anything bad about White Boy, but she is insulting damaged goods because she's taking something that she did that was very, very good. She didn't force that. She didn't lead the questions, at least not a lot. But as much as she did, it was just the sign of somebody who's not a professional journalist, just somebody who was just asking questions and just making sure that she's clear. Did he or did he not ever hurt you or violate you in any way? And she said no. And then she was like, so he was a great father as far as, and you know, blah, blah, blah. She was just making sure that the answers that she was getting were clear and that her audience and her listeners understood what her answer was. She was leading her to be clear about her answers, not actually leading the answers themselves, which I thought was very responsibly done, so that nobody could sit here and be like, oh, well, what is she saying no about exactly?
This is about the fact that Don put his daughter in that position.
See how she words that? This is about the fact that Don put his daughter in that position. That's not a fact. Because she's already said twice in this very live stream that it's just her opinion. That's what she believes happened. She's already said that twice. But then she keeps saying things like the fact that Don put his daughter in that position. Bullshit.
Only good and well for 2 years, she did not want to speak out. If she hasn't spoke out up until now, with all the times her dad pushed her to, and he just so happened went
careful. Be real fucking careful there, Ziggy. Be real careful, because there's a lot of victims listening to you right now, and you sitting there and saying that this person that there's some sort of doubt to her story, that she has taken this long to speak out. Ooh, you don't want to do that, because every victim has a right to speak out when they feel comfortable speaking out, if they feel comfortable speaking out. And that is their prerogative, their choice, their decision. And you don't get to doubt or dictate them simply because you don't find the timing convenient. Period. So be very, 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 very careful sitting there going, oh, well, why did it take her so long to speak out? And then she quickly shifts to, oh, well, you know, Don's been pressuring her all this time, which she's already stated is her opinion. She has no facts to base this on. So tell me you're trashing a victim without telling me that you're trashing a victim.
Went and visit her days before this interview or whatever. You don't think that Don put her up to that?
No. No.
Strawberry Perry, I don't know who the fuck you are. Why would I be scared of you? I don't know who you are.
See, she's really hostile with her chat right now. Really defensive. And only somebody who has doubts in whatever they're saying would be that defensive.
Yeah, they wanted me to call her, and he kept trying to push me to call her and stuff. And I texted her called one time, and she didn't get back to me, so I didn't push it because I knew he was like pushing her to. He was really trying to get her to speak out for him.
How do you know that?
No, I didn't say anything negative about you during this live at all. Zero. It has nothing to do with, I even specifically said this is not about the interviewers or anything. I said I would have probably interviewed her too. This is about Don Wells. Don Wells put his daughter up to it. This is the same daughter that he gave props to for staying quiet about being Ard. Oh, what a good daughter. She just took it like a champ.
What? Okay, she's having a meltdown.
Her feet for a reason. She didn't want to speak out, but she was put up to it by Don. That's all that I'm saying.
But how do you know that? Again, where's your evidence? Where's your evidence? How do you know this?
Yeah, he did beg me to a year ago, and I know I couldn't have been the only one. This is not anything at all about any channel who did it, who talked to him. It's not about the channel at all. It's about just what I've said, and you'll find zero here that I've said anything bad about those channels.
You did though.
Please look, because I didn't.
You did though. You fucked with their credibility. You tried to assassinate their credibility as creators. I mean, not White Boy, because he has no. I mean, he's connected by marriage, and that's all. You know what I mean? But you're trashing damaged goods. You're trashing her integrity as a creator. And she actually was almost convinced of it. She was catching all this shit for it because she didn't know how to handle that. So that's not the kind of content that she usually engages in. And then turned out that she was pretty good at it. And then she takes it down because all these people attack her. All these Don haters attack her. And then while she's in this chat, she realizes, wait a second. Fuck that. I'm putting that shit back up.
No, that girl not cool, because yes, opinions are welcome in a respectful manner, but people are purposely coming in here and just trying to distract and cause problems and go over to white boy and act like we were talking bad about him when that was not happening at all. Nor were we talking bad about his wife. That never happened. I know how it, but
God,
you know how
man.
it goes, though.
So
Damaged
butthurt.
goods, like people go back and
So
forth, but no,
butthurt
nobody
over
was talking
this.
bad
It's
about
so
you. I didn't
funny.
have anything bad to say about you guys.
I don't say
You're
nothing
just
bad
doing
about
your
you.
thing, just like anybody else on here. Anybody would have talked to her. My beef is with Dawn Wells. You guys are just the, what's the word, the conduit or the method of that the message was put out. It's very important. I don't know why people on here, it's so bad here on YouTube. It is, but so many people associate.
I love that shit. I love when the people who make YouTubers look really bad fucking talk about how bad it is on YouTube. That shit is just fucking fantastic to me.
The creators with the guests, like they're the same, and that's just not true. Just because you have an opinion about the guest, it doesn't say anything about the creator.
I mean, it kind of does.
Same thing about whoever I have on my panel. It doesn't mean I agree with the person. I'm just asking him questions.
That's apples and oranges,
but
man.
So much so, just how like this happened, I knew it would. I knew people would go over there and try to cause problems with white boy and them. I knew it.
Well,
oh no, you were definitely talked about chasing truth. You can go get fucked.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hold on.
Oh no, you were definitely talked about chasing truth. You can go get fucked. You're a fake.
Yikes.
So
shots fired.
Stuff for you to talk about.
I mean, but like,
you're a fake and you are up there supporting people that you know are not good people. You've seen and witnessed it.
But what about you?
While you're putting down the others who have talked to him before. You come on here acting all high and mighty, and you know you do have a lot of followers that follow what you say.
Now, I have personally heard Chasing Truth say that her opinion has definitely changed in the Summer Wells case as far as who to look at, who not to look at. Once she started really looking at and questioning, is there actually any evidence to make me think that any of these people did anything? And then realize that there wasn't. She's definitely gone a different direction. Because it's easy. Listen, it's real easy, people, to look at these people and then see things like CPS taking the kids away and seeing them drunk on people's panels and things of that nature. I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. But I'm telling you, here's the thing. And this is, I've grown to really like and admire Chasing Truth. And she's somebody that you got to have the facts. If you don't have the facts, it's just not going to work. You know, you're not going to convince her of anything unless you've got facts. And she lives up to her name in the sense that, okay, I want the truth. Bring me the truth. Chili Peanuts, thank you for the super sticker. So I am of the opinion that she's trying to make her out to be some sort of flip-flopper or whatever. No, and she's never accused, and I'm not saying that she has. I'm saying that I've heard her say she's felt certain ways, and then later on that those she didn't feel that way so strongly anymore. And it's simply because time has gone on and on and on and on. And when you're the type of person that wants facts and wants proof and wants evidence, and so much time passes by where there's absolutely no evidence, you're going to be like, I don't know. It's not looking like it's fair to look at these people in a negative light because they have a daughter that's missing and there's nothing to indicate that they did anything to her. Nothing at all. So no matter whether they drink, no matter whether they violate parole that is completely unrelated to hurting or neglecting a child in some way, shape, or form, unless there's that kind of evidence, you are not going to convince me that they are guilty of this crime. And so one thing has nothing to do with the other. If the reason why we talk about these people is the fact that Summer Wells is missing, well, then you're going to have to come at me with actual evidence that would lead me to believe that they did something to her directly. Some sort of direct connection to them wanting and having some sort of motive to hurt not only a child, but their own. And there has not been anything. Because it's real easy. I don't blame anyone. Hell, almost every single YouTuber that I know. When this first was breaking, everybody was looking at Don and Candace like, what the fuck am I looking at? Totally raising an eyebrow. You know what I mean? And rightfully so. Look at Candace goes on a fucking news station and she sounds like she's pilled out. She looks like she's pilled out. That's a bad look. So I don't blame anybody for going, you know what? I'm going to keep a close eye on them. I'm going to keep a close eye on them for the foreseeable future to see if they slip up. And here we are, almost 2 years later, and not one fucking shred of information that's reliable can logically lead you to the conclusion that they did something to their children. And like I said before, all of these things that we want to judge them for, fair enough. If you want to judge them as people, as parents, fine. They get their kids taken away because they have substance abuse problems, that's fine. You want to judge them for that? That's fair. There's nothing unfair about that. But the fact is it doesn't prove that they would actually deliberately hurt one of their children or worse, and then cover it up. And then the very thing that you're judging them for fairly, because they did have their kids taken away over it, and one got locked up for violating parole, and that being the root of the reason why he did that, that's fair. Regardless of those things, I mean, what's really funny about that, those things, you'd think after all this time, as I stated before, after all of this time, they would have slipped, because it's not like they have been hiding from the public. They're all over social media. We're talking about Facebook posts. We're talking about videos. We're talking about jumping on panels. We're talking about almost 2 years of these people being overly public and not revealing one thing that would indicate that they did something to Summer. Not one slip up. Even though the reason that they're being judged would make it so easy for them to do so. As many times as they've been drunk or intoxicated. Not one slip up. Why? Are they geniuses? Are they criminal masterminds? It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. But what I'm saying is I could see anybody, almost every fucking YouTuber that I love and admire that was following this case was like, these motherfuckers look shady as fuck to me. Even I thought so. I just never said it publicly. But I thought so. But I would always say, I need more evidence. This does not make them people who did something to their child. This is just people with substance abuse problems. There's a lot of good parents. Well, not good parents, but parents that love their kids who have addictions. It's a very common thing. It doesn't mean that they're capable of hurting their children, but it's enough to go, I want to keep an eye on them. And I get that. But now, almost 2 years later, where is the indication that they did something? Where is it? Makes no sense. So the longer time goes on and we don't get any of this, the more stupid people like Ziggy sound, the more crazy they sound.
And you know that you're putting out misinformation and you are encouraging people to believe this bullshit. You are using your intellect and your gifts that you were given in bad ways. You are trying
by saying, look at the evidence, because that's what an intelligent person does. So you're faulting chasing truth for saying, for using her intelligence and saying that using her intelligence in a bad way, that she's using her intelligence in a bad way by saying you have to look at the evidence. Sorry, I fundamentally disagree with you on that. The simple, like anybody who you consider to be intelligent and they use their intelligence to simply say, look at the evidence. Where is the evidence that these people did anything to do, that they did anything and had anything to do with their child's disappearance? Show me the evidence. If that's what they're using their intelligence for, I'm going to listen to them. Not somebody who's just spewing out unfounded theories. The fact, quote unquote, that Don Wells pressured her to say what she said on Damaged Goods channel. But that's just my opinion. She said that all in one fucking breath. And she did it like twice.
trying to get you were trying to get the boys back to the Wells? Why are you hanging out with the Wells?
See, there's a difference between trying to get the boys back for the Wells and having faith that somebody is doing and taking the steps they can to get their kids back. There's a big difference, because I promise you, that's also what CPS, that's what their mindset is. Child services, child and family services, and family services being the key term. Okay. Their objective is not to just protect children. That's one of their objectives, but their main objective is to keep families together. Help families do whatever they need to do to be able to help parents do whatever they have to do to be fit parents. The thing about CPS, child services, whatever you call it, wherever you live, the thing about that is these organizations, these county or state-run organizations, they don't want another mouth to feed. Every time that a child comes into their custody, that's a mouth for them to feed. That's more money from taxpayers going into their mouths. Somebody has to work that budget. So the last thing that they want is to take these children in and keep them from their families. What they want to do is help the families get to a point to where the environment for all parties involved is healthy for these children. That's it. The idea is to keep the environment safe for children and to keep families together in the process. That's a win-win. But they will protect the kids if they can't do that right away. But the idea, the goal is to work towards that. It's to help Don be a fit father. It's to help Candace be a fit mother. The objective is not, let's keep the children away from these people. So it's crazy that people like this think on this level. They think that CPS exists to punish parents. That's not how it works. They don't exist to punish parents. They exist to try to keep families together. That's their objective.
And then talking about bad about other creators who have been there before. And then when they go, you want to be like, oh no, Ziggy's there. When they're not even going there to talk to Don and Candace because they're liars.
That's
no,
possible.
Yeah, don't time her out if she's responding.
That's possible, Stacy Price. Yeah, I got timed out in her chat for simply just doing what she's saying right here. But I mean, my mods aren't going to fucking do that. My mods aren't going to fucking do that. You know? I don't have to tell my mods how to run my chat. They already know.
But, you know, the thing is, Chasing Truth is very good with her words. She's very intelligent, and she knows people listen to her.
Yeah.
And this is a big part. She's a big part of why this is this big turn. People now are supporting Don and Candace. And I'm sorry, that's just the truth. She knows.
People are supporting Don and Candace because the evidence dictates that these people have a missing child. That's it. And it's not even so much that people support Don and Candace. It's not even that. It's that people are just not quick to crucify them, to roast them, to drag them. People are not quick to accuse them of something that there's no evidence of. So therefore, the safe assumption is that they are people with a missing child and that they miss their child very much. That's the safe way to go. I would rather be wrong about someone's guilt or someone's innocence than be wrong about their guilt. I would much rather be wrong about someone's innocence than be wrong about their guilt. A decent person with the evidence made available to us would just assume right now that these are people going through something that I hope to God nobody else has to go through. And that's it.
It's a bunch of bullshit. She is too smart to believe they're fucking bullshit. And I know she knows also that Don has been trying to get Margie to speak up for 2 years. So yeah, Chasing Truth, when I saw your messages in that chat saying, oh, this is an important interview. This is so important. You know that's bullshit because you know Don told her what to say. You know that. So why are you giving credibility to something you know she didn't even want to do? You know it.
Calm down.
You know she was so uncomfortable because Don put her up to it.
So mad. How do you know that? What do you mean?
So imagine
Relax.
what she's going through. And it's not the people
Who?
Interviewed her fault or anything. I know that Don has tried so hard. I didn't say you spoke to Margie. I said you know that he's tried to get Margie to talk. You know that. If you haven't known that, then you haven't been following the case, because he's mentioned it several times, how I don't know why Margie won't come on. And, you know, he said it so many times. He tried to get me to contact her. He's trying to get other people to contact her.
Okay, so that would
She has not
right
wanted
there.
to
Okay.
speak up.
Okay, right there. Right there. Right there. You're saying that he tried to get you to contact her. That right there is absolutely contradictory to him having any effect on her going on there. That if he ever even tried to talk her into it, that she's not going to do it if he's asking her to. If you're sitting here saying that he tried to get you and all these other people for him to get her to talk on YouTube in his favor, well, then that's contradictory to what you're sitting here spinning this whole narrative, this whole live is about. You're sitting here saying that he pressured her into going on. But if he can't, if he's so desperate as to get all of you random YouTubers to talk her into it, how could he possibly have that kind of influence on her? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. So you're contradicting yourself.
Thank you, Damaged Goods. Sorry for the miscommunication. I don't have any problem with you guys. I swear to God. I don't even have a problem with like Chasing Truth or any of the others. I just, because you know what?
What do you mean? You
Chasing
just
Truth,
totally.
If you weren't so intelligent and had so much.
You just fucking basically called her stupid. Basically, you called her nefarious. You said that she uses her intelligence to do bad things and not good things. That you just accused Chasing Truth of all this fucked up shit. You just went off on her. And now you're saying, well, I don't have anything against Chasing Truth. What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you have no credibility at all in anything that you're saying right now. Like, your audience must be idiots. Like, all of the people in your chat who, like, think that you hold any credibility at all whatsoever must be fucking morons.
So much good to offer, I wouldn't be this pissed. That's why I'm so mad. It's because the ones that fucking are doing this are the ones I probably respected the most. And thought were intelligent. Why? I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Why are you so bent out of shape about it? Why are you crying?
Yeah, I just cussed her because she comes in here like I'm not going to admit that I was talking shit about her when I obviously was. She goes, oh, I suppose you're not talking shit about me too. No, Chasing, just because I wasn't talking shit about somebody else that I was asked about doesn't mean I wasn't talking shit about you.
Relax, bro.
I think that was blatantly obvious. You're full of shit. And you're up to some bullshit.
She's up to some bullshit, but I don't have anything against you, even though you're up to some bullshit.
Why do you aspire to hang out with Dawn and Candace? What in your mind is like, oh, I just want to be best friends with Dawn and Candace. I'm going to go hang up out on the hill.
Maybe she's trying to get a dog.
You're not going up there and researching for Summer because you refuse to do Summer videos anymore. You're going up there being buddies with them. And birds of a feather flock together. That's what I was saying.
Bro.
I just asked, why are you hanging up there?
who cares?
Why are you hanging out with these
Why
people?
is that your business?
You're not even doing videos on summer anymore.
And why are you so worked up
Stop
about
acting holier than thou. You're not better than anybody, and now you're trash on right along with them.
Oh my God.
Because you're hanging out with
Hold
it. Not
on.
better than even doing video.
Listen.
Why are you hanging out with these people? You're not even doing videos on summer anymore.
Okay. Yeah, see right there, not doing videos about summer anymore is a sign of a responsible YouTuber, because there's no new information regarding summer. I don't care what neighbor comes out of the woodworks. That's all fucking hearsay. None of it. Until law enforcement comes out with a statement regarding this case, it is not credible information on this case. Therefore, not doing videos on summer anymore is a sign of a responsible YouTuber, in my personal opinion. Nobody's doing summer videos anymore. At least not the credible channels. Because there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about that hasn't been talked about already that actually pertains to the case.
Stop acting holier than thou. You're not better than anybody, and now you're trash on right along with them.
Oh my God.
Because you're hanging out with the trash. Everybody have a nice evening. Bye.
Are you sick of having issues with your
Okay. Straight meltdown right there. Yeah, I don't understand why she thinks that she has any credibility. Yeah, she did go full Karen. She went full on Karen. I don't understand why you're hanging around with the trash, the bad people. The bad people, why? Like, what if everybody just started like picking apart every little thing about your life and started talking about how bad of a person you are? Do you think that you deserve to be subject to that? Nobody does. Nobody does. Yeah. I mean, this is what I'm talking about here. So here we have Damaged Goods, who has this interview with Margie, Don Wells' daughter from a previous relationship, and she clearly states that Don not only never did anything to hurt her, regardless of all of the crazy fucking accusations made about it going towards her, that she's the victim of these things. She herself gets up on a YouTube channel and not only debunks these accusations, but also goes out of her way to say that Don was a great father to her, and that she's grateful for the relationship that she has had with him her entire life. This is very, very, very damaging to the narrative that these tragedy pimps try to spin. And that is the nature of her little meltdown that just happened right there, because none of it made sense. None of it held any water. None of it was like, I'm mad because of this, and this is why I'm mad, and showing and putting up a good argument. Because nobody's blaming anybody for having feelings and getting upset, but she had no basis to be upset other than the fact that she got proven wrong. That was literally the only reason, genuine, legit reason that she had for being upset. And I believe wholeheartedly that that is exactly why she was upset. Period. She got proven wrong. She panicked, freaked out. I can't believe. Oh my God, I can't believe Don had to have made her do that. No. Try again. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I really appreciate all you guys being here and hanging out with me, especially so late. You guys are amazing. I love hanging out with you guys, and I can't wait to do it again. So we will be doing this again very soon, my friends.